I'm live on FB. Let me get this light turned down so I can brighten it right back up. Welcome to the AP Morning Show. Good morning to you and you too. Let me see, I didn't check my microphone up. Yep, we're going. Good morning. See, even my computer's acting right this morning because we're all here. Let me get my banner up and going. Gotta have some representation. I think I might go with the let's go with the default today. So I just want to say good morning to you too. Welcome to the AP Morning Show. This is where we stand in accountability as partners here every morning, 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time till about around 10:30 or so. So many times I hang out for much longer. Why? Because I'm that kind of guy. Why? I'm that kind of guy. So we hang out here, we have some fun, we affirm each other on our days in many different ways. People come in all shapes and sizes, all backgrounds. With one thing that defines us, the fact that we are human beings, being human every day. Some like to call that what you make. But what I know is, what it allows us to do is to stand here. Okay, what is here? Well, I'm glad you asked. Here, for those that don't know, is Clubhouse. There's Clubhouse. Look at Clubhouse. Okay, if you don't know what Clubhouse is, don't worry. Let's see what side I want to be on. Don't worry. If you don't know what Clubhouse is, you're going to find out. And if you haven't already, I've been talking about this every day. Yes, every day. Because Clubhouse is only the greatest thing since sliced bread. It is, I promise you. Why is that? Well, glad you asked. It's an all-audio chat app that's based around three-way phone calls, basically. For some people, it's the party line. But the whole idea is that we get together under conversations and topics of all kinds. There are people here talking about everything from real estate to stating your truth to hanging out in accountability, like us, like we, like me. You know, different things dealing with race, gender, what divides us, what brings us together, music, fabric, like brick by brick, building foundations in business and villages. You can find it all here on Clubhouse. So all you have to do right now is, if you aren't in this environment, then all you need is an iPhone for right now. They're developing it for Android as we speak. And you can just go to the App Store, download Clubhouse app, drop one in. And so what we do here is stand in accountability. So I'm going to ping a few of my friends in, which just means inviting them into the conversation because I think that they would enjoy it, that kind of thing. And I'm going to read a few thoughts for the day to get us started. Once again, thanks for coming through, you. All right, let's see if my good friend Micah is around. Micah Smith blazed that last gig that we had together. Fruition Experience in the park. Lake Montebello. Just saying, y'all had to be there. It's one of those you had to be there. You had to be there. Yes. It's the best. 8 people on the show. All right, let's get this thing started. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read a few thoughts. Good morning to Denise M. Parks. Yes. Good morning to you. Got my lighting right today. Yesterday was a projector trying to block out all our light. So Jamie says, do you have an invite for Clubhouse? Yes, I do. Okay. Here's what you can do, Jamie. If you go into my inbox on Facebook, if you're on Facebook, go ahead and send me your phone number. So I only got a few because they invite a few at a time. So inbox me and I'm gonna pull you on in. Yes. Hashtag Clubhouse. So yes, Jamie. Do you have an invite? I do. Hit me up. D Love Harrison says, good morning, King. I appreciate you. Good morning to you. Denise Park says, good morning, Aaron. She also says, hashtag Clubhouse. You better know it. I'm telling you. This is the best thing since sliced bread because you get a chance to build with real people in real time. Jamie says, thanks, Aaron. You're so welcome. So let's get to these thoughts. A couple thoughts for your day. And this is from my Medium series. I have writings on medium.com. And soon these writings you're going to find in my own personal app called the 5M Experience. But for now, let's give you a few quotes. Be unapologetic about who you are. Unless you're an asshole. Then you need to apologize and change, goddamn it, immediately. I'm just saying. Be unapologetic. Unless you need reason to. Come to me if you need to figure out what that reason is. Indoctrination makes us see narcissism and defend it as love. My ultimate goal is to use everything I have to help as many people as possible that I can. As much as possible for as long as possible. Projecting your perspective onto others, then being upset or disappointed that they don't hold the same views you hold is unfair and ridiculous. Your thoughts are in your own head, and nobody else knows how those thoughts are playing out in there but you. So stop holding others accountable for them. OMG. This is one of those things that this is an everyday thing. Denise says, yep. This is an everyday thing. You have to, because if not, you'll find yourself projecting onto others things that don't belong to them. But you'll also find yourself doing the same thing to you, where you're taking on things that you don't need to. It's not your issues to work through. The only difference between being a superhero and a villain is mindset and use of power. So use yours for good. Conversely, healed people heal people. And lastly, if you continue to do what you always did, you'll get what you always got. When it's time for a change, you got to realize that a dead horse has 1,000% consistency at getting a rider nowhere. So go ahead and take the first step toward change. What do you have to lose? What do you have to lose? This first step may be the first forward motion you've had in a long time. Your feet will thank you later for moving when you did. And you'll thank your feet later for moving when they did. Let's get it. Everybody, welcome to the AP Morning Show. It's good to see you too. And as we keep this experience moving, I want to say good morning to good friends Marcy and Mindful Wizard hanging out with us. Yes. Jamie Cole says, thanks. This is the first time that I've caught you live and your quotes were exactly what I've been working on. Thank you. Yes, I got you. In fact, Jamie, I'm going to see if you have the ability. I'm going to try to actually make this happen right now. And that way, if you'd like to jump on with us, this would be an amazing moment in the moment. So I'm going to store you in my phone, but I want to say welcome to everybody here. Here we are, another day, standing together in accountability. And so, wait a minute, I almost had that. Wait a minute, I almost lost Jamie's number, y'all. I can't lose Jamie's number after going through all that. It won't even make sense. All right, Jamie, I'm looking you up in the app right now. Also want to say good morning to, again, Marcy, Mindful, Adrian. All right, so I'm going to go to my page to see if I have an invite available, see if I can look you up. And I got you. Jamie, I just sent you a Clubhouse invite. Like I need the the little horns. Don't worry, coming real soon. Just Jamie, if you want to come through, by all means, love to hang out with you. And so on that tip, I'm gonna say what's up to my cousin blood, Caesar Bell. Bro, what's going on, Holmes?
Boy, man, I'm gonna kill you, man.
He said, I'm gonna kill you. Yo, what did I do? Yo,
I'm gonna kill you with all of the love that I have in my heart for you, but I'm going to kill you, bro.
Yo, what I do, bro? What did I do?
First of all, the show is early as a mom.
Right.
7:30. For you to be on here with this porn star voice of yours, you're gonna talk about we all are human beings,
right?
Being human.
Right.
I was like, I'm gonna kill this thing. But before that, you want to send me about 10 text messages at 5 something in the morning? I said, this thing is crazy. I'm gonna kill him.
Oh my God, yo.
I'm gonna kill this dude, yo. Like flat out, yo.
You know what I'm saying? Flat out. Yeah, my bad, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't realize it was 10, bro. You know, I thought it was about 2 or 3.
If it's 1, that's a problem. Because you know what?
Oh my God.
You got that little
man.
iPhone, you got that little default ring that it do when you get a text
right.
message. It's loud as a mother, like ding.
Right.
Ding. Yeah. If this nigga ding me one more time,
Yo, don't it be like louder, like the earlier it is in the morning, yo, it should be,
Exactly.
it should be loud.
Early in the morning, like the iPhone people, like turn it up.
Yo,
Boy.
turn it up between the hours of 1 and 5. Like, turn that joint up extra loud.
I said, just for that, I ain't getting out the bed. I'm staying right here.
Oh man, that's crazy, yo. Yeah, bro, I ain't mean to give you the rude awakening, bro. You know what's funny though about that? I was literally thinking about that when I was texting you. I was like, yo, he probably gonna be like, yo, what the
yo, I literally was cussing you out, yo. Like for real.
Oh my god.
Every time I look, I say, who the first one came to? I'm like, yo, this must be some kind of mistake. It's got to be.
Right.
But then I look over and see your name. I say, this nigga's crazy. All right, there's one. All right. Let me go back to sleep.
Yo, I know that feeling, yo. Oh my god, yo. Yo, that's so funny, yo. That's so funny, yo. Like literally what I thought actually happened. Yeah, bro. Oh man. Yeah, my bad, bro. I didn't mean to, wake you out your beauty sleep. You probably was having a good one too, bro.
I was definitely plotting out a murder.
Oh my god, yeah.
Just trying to get all my ducks in a row.
Right.
And I was like, man, let me get up, go use the bathroom, and I forgot I left the toilet outside. So now I got to go outside and bring the bathroom in the house.
Bring the bathroom in the house. Yo, how you gotta bring the bathroom inside?
Yo, you ever seen the TV show Nashville? You ever heard of that?
No, I never heard of it.
It came out in, I think, like 2012 or 2011, something like that.
Right.
And I've been binge watching this one. Like,
right.
This country music didn't suck me in. Because all of the stories are sad, but the music is dope though. It'd be like 14 different people on stage playing guitar at one time, and they all doing something different.
God damn.
Dope. I'm like, what is going on? I'm sucked in, son. Yo,
that's how you know though, when the country music gets you like that. Yeah, that shit gotta be dope as hell.
Yo, they some storytellers for real. And I always heard that country music has some good stories, but I'm like that. Yo, they really can play though. Yo, like they play guitar. Yo, they take the guitar seriously. Yo.
Right.
If you live in Nashville and can't play the guitar, you have to leave.
It's like, yo, you will not be here.
So like, don't you know how we be doing sheds?
Right.
They do guitar sheds like a bunch of people just in a circle playing guitar. So on one of the scenes, right? They in there having like, little shed session. It's like 5 people with guitars. So the dude walked in there and the guy was like, hey man, come on and join us, man. Grab a guitar, come sit down. He's like, I don't play guitar. They said, what? Yeah. They all looked at each other like, just know this.
He said, no, he didn't come in here and not know how to play guitar. Oh my God, yo. Yo, that's a funny ass scenario. How'd that be the odd thing that you don't play guitar? Oh my God, yo.
That you don't play. They like, what? Yo, the way they looked at this, it was like, yo, you light of day. I'm like, they was threatening his life. I'm like, he's got to go.
Oh my God,
that's how serious they take it.
Yeah, that's some serious shit. Yeah, that makes me think about flamenco guitar. You know what I'm saying? Oh, what's up? I want to say what's up to Tanisha again. And Adrian. Look, he said, Yo, son, Tanisha spit some fire in here yesterday, bro. Fire. When I tell you, you missed some fire.
Hey.
You missed some fire, bro.
I believe. Rapping.
Right, it was a spoken word piece.
You had a rap, also spoken word.
A spoken word piece over a song of mine that I had playing in the background, November Night's Dream. I had a piano track playing, man, blazing. Right. But don't worry, because you're gonna hear that shit again in the near future.
Right now.
Right.
Let's go to the
right now. Let me tell you something.
I'm calling you out right now.
Yeah, right. Look, let me tell you.
Me and you.
Let me tell you what happened. So it wound up unfolding into a moment where I told Tanisha that I was like, I want to actually get together with you. Your spoken word piece, my piano track, boom. Yo, she pulled over to do this. And she was like, yo, this is crazy right now.
Oh, that's dope.
Yo, it was crazy. It was crazy, dog.
Hey, yo.
Crazy. Yeah.
I know you surf around a lot, right? Online. Find different things.
Right.
Like when you found that dog that was singing with the girl.
Oh, my God. Right.
Yo, so check it. Have you ever heard of a lady named Maddie J?
Maddie J, you said?
Maddie J.
No, I never heard of Maddie J.
Yo, when I send you this link to Maddie J, son.
Okay.
It's over for you. Like the rest of the day, son. Yo, so Maddie J is this old lady.
Right.
And she was doing this clip in the car with her and her husband driving.
Right.
So something happened in church. She said, I've been the head usher for 42 years in church. And pastor know that I'm going to take care of things. So she said a lady got up to do a testimonial. And she did her testimony. And she said she stood back there. And she was like, I was giving her the Ike Turner, you know.
Right.
And I had my hand up and I was going 5, 4, 3, you know, trying to tell the lady to wrap it up. So when she got to 1, she said when this lady got to 1,
right,
she started singing a song. And I said to myself, I know this ain't gonna be no 1-minute song. So she walked up to the lady, right? She said, come on, baby, come on. It's time to get there. You taking too long. You taking too long. So the lady said, I ain't taking too long. I'm gonna do what the Lord tell me, and everybody else like to hear what is going on. And so Maddie J said she did something that she should not have done. And her husband was like, what? He said, she jerked away from me. So Maddie J said, I took my hand and I grabbed her by her neck and I pulled her pearls and I took her as close to near the cross as I could take it. Yo. But the funny thing about it is this lady's delivery, you got watch.
Oh my God, yo.
When I say, and she was cussing her husband out talking about, Herman, when them deacons was grabbing me, you didn't get them deacons off of me. And he was like, well, I told him to let you go ahead and fight because the other lady was really getting licks in, and I thought she could knock some sense into your ass.
Oh my God.
They was going back and forth. He said the pastor is going to get you. You know the pastor going to get you. She said, well, the pastor won't pull me up. And if he say something to me about putting me on suspension, I might just have to slack the hell out of him. Hey,
yo, that's crazy. Yo, definitely send me that, man. Yeah. That reminds me of this. I gotta send you one too. I'm not sure if you saw the one with those ladies where they were supposed to be doing something, and it wound up being where they wound up getting stuck to each other, like falling in the sink. It turned into this crazy thing, but it like unfolded in the craziest way. I'm gonna send that to you if you've never seen it. It's crazy.
Yeah, send me that. I like to watch, buffooneries.
Right. But yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to checking out
son.
Matty J though.
I'm about to go see if I can find any little kids outside robbing for some candy or something.
Oh my God.
I actually saw some kids outside playing yesterday. It almost brought tears to my eyes, man.
Right.
Man, I literally saw kids outside playing.
Take you back to the good old days, bro.
Oh man, I almost cried. I said, Lord, children, these kids was made in the lab. These ain't the new kids.
He said these ain't the new kids. Oh man.
All right, sure, I'm about to get up out of here. Tadisha, Marcy, Mindful. Thank y'all for listening. I'll holler back later.
Hey, I see you in a bit, bro. Peace, man. Yes. Oh man, y'all. Great. Oh my gosh. I want to say what's up to Joyce Petaway. Joyce Petaway says, good morning. She said, it was hard as hell to join or to get to you. I'm here, so I'm tuning in for the first time. Thanks so much, Joyce. Now, Joyce, did you come in from the email that I sent out a few minutes ago? Because if so, OMG. Thank you. First time I sent the email out to my over 10,000 on my email list audience. Been doing this here in Clubhouse for the last 2 months. So I'm starting to unveil, starting to let the fam in. And so here we are. Thank you for coming in. Thanks so much, Joyce, for hanging out. Also want to say what's up to my fam on Clubhouse. Tanisha, Marcy, Mindful Wizard, of course, my cousin Blood, Caesar. And so in this next segment, one of the things that I've been wanting to do here is to continue to bring more and more value, as much value as possible to the table. And so one of the things I appreciate is highlighting people for what they do, who they are, what they bring to the table, their business, their product, their service, their servitude to humanity, whatever it may be. So I'd like to kick that off here. Today, last week we had Linda Stewart with us, hanging out. And so today, we got the brother, Mindful Wizard. I'm going to bring him to the stage. We're going to hang out a bit, chop it up, and see how we can highlight each other, stand in accountability. Good morning, brother. How's it going?
God bless, brother. First of all, let me thank you for the opportunity and the introduction. God bless.
Yes. No doubt, man. Thank you. Thanks for hanging out, fam.
100%. I'm really excited to be here. I love listening to you and your friends and your family talking, so I appreciate it. It's a great opportunity.
Oh, man. Much appreciated, bro. Much appreciated. I'm trying to remember where I met you, as they say, out here in these Clubhouse streets. I remember seeing your name around because, of course, having a unique name like that, you're not going to run into any other mindful wizards day by day that actually go by name. You know what I mean? So I can't remember where I met you, but I do remember that I sent out a message, and just checking, just catching up with people, in this space where it's like, here we have this ecosystem where we can meet people of like minds and like interests, meet the fam that we didn't even know was the fam, meet the tribe. So I'm always out on the hunt for a tribe, and with that, that's how things come alive for me. So, man, it's a pleasure to meet you, man. Pleasure to talk to you.
Yes, sir. I'm humbled. I'm excited that you reached out. And it's just a miracle to be a part of something that's growing and it's really giving back.
Yes, sir. No doubt, man. So I think I might have found you via like my mindfulness search, keyword search. And I see that you're a mindfulness coach specializing in meditation and emotional intelligence. When is, for you, what is mindfulness, and, when did you get into mindfulness?
Great question. So, simply put, mindfulness is the ability for the observer to come out of you. Right. So, you're Aaron, and you have thoughts that come in your mind daily. Right. Some of them are yours, and some of them are put in there by media, by your girlfriend, by the people that you argue with, the people that you love. So what mindfulness helps, it helps us observe those thoughts so that they don't fog our reality.
Right.
What mindfulness does is, if you grew up, for example, like myself, in a rough neighborhood, you get to drown out the voices of the negative in the neighborhood.
Right.
And it's honestly, to me, it's become everything that I do. It's an observation of breath. It's a relaxation of the mind. Even before I got, ready to speak today, I did a little mindfulness practice where I just kind of felt my energy. Right. So before I jump into the room, that way, I don't carry any residual effects of stress or trauma. I want to make sure that Aaron and his amazing listenership gets the benefits that they deserve. So it's right. The ability to, to break apart your day, but still be focused in every aspect of it.
I love that, man. I love that. Yeah, bro. And it's, for me, it's one of those things where I can appreciate it so deeply because it's the life that I know as well. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, man, I think about, like you said, just that ability to be present like that, right? I remember one point in time when I started studying meditation, like as an actual, art form, as an actual thing. It was interesting because the first thing I noticed was like, wait a minute, this state of awareness, this is a place that I know just from like my regular movement throughout my day. Like no matter where I am, I'm in like a particular kind of mindset, right? Of mindfulness. And so it was interesting then starting to learn about, other formal ways that people do it and then leaning into certain practices and that kind of thing. But it was a huge like moment of self-awareness for me, just because it was like, wow, this is the life that I know. And wow, here's a name for it. And here's some other ways to approach it. And here's the depth of it. Here's what it is psychologically, and that kind of thing. It's a real fascinating thing. And so I think about that. And then I think about like, as I was diving into it, the first thing that I came across with even looking up what it means to be mindful was this idea of a removal of judgment. You know what I mean? And that's when it just like hit me. I'm like, wow, as much as I've thought about mindfulness as like paying attention, that whole removal of judgment just takes it to another level when you really realize like the power of that and how that allows you to be so present. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, what do you?
100%.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm listening.
Well, I wanted to also jump in that in the observation of thought is how we can remove false information. Right. So I'll give you a perfect example. This morning, anxiety can jump in, right? To fog the way this conversation goes.
Right.
But instead, I'm remaining aware as to how I'm feeling in response to the questions and the conversation that we're having. So it creates a space to both be a part of it, enjoy it, and still benefit.
Right. Yo, I love how you put that. To be a part of it, enjoy it, and still benefit from it. Bruh. Yes, it's interesting. The first time I experienced that, I started calling it like the wedge, because it reminded me of like, I was thinking about perspective, and it was like, if you have a perspective, that's like a doorway into, a particular direction. if in order for you to be open to other perspectives, like you need to have other doorways that are, at least are kind of cracked open to peek some light through, right? And it started making me think about like, wow, is this ability to be able to be like in yourself, but then aware of yourself, you know, and then aware, you know, the third is like this increased awareness, man. It really is an amazing thing. Is this like, when it comes to like mindfulness, is this something that you grew up with? Is this something that was, you know, in the latter part of your life? You know, how does your mindfulness journey unfold?
So it's a great question. So I think just at birth, I was a spiritual person. I was into meditation young. My mom would tell me, like, she would catch me watching TV at 5 years old, but I would be like in a meditative lotus position.
Wow.
Weird stuff like, like strange shit like that. Like,
right.
I would just normally I would like to just sit like that.
You was on some Golden Child shit. You was on some Golden Child shit.
I was some young Goku. For my old heads that like Dragon Ball Z, because I'm in my 30s, so I can talk about being old. But yeah, brother. So I would say that my roots in Buddhism started very young, and then I fell off for about, let's say, 15 years between the ages of, I would say, 5 and 20.
Right.
And then I lost my eye, so I'm actually blind from my left eye.
Okay.
And I went through a stage of depression with that because, long story short, I was in the streets, and I got attacked one night, and as a result of being jumped, I lost my left eye, and we had to do 8 surgeries to try to save it. So I went through about a depression, like most people would.
Right.
And I needed to find something that would silence the negative thoughts in my mind, right? Something that would that would free me from the prisons I was putting myself in. So fast forward, I got into these books. I read meditation. I read about the law of attraction. Yeah. And it really helped me, kind of like what I introduced with, helped me separate what's true and what's not. Yeah. So that's kind of the inception of my meditation, yes, sir. Through depression, yes, sir.
Man, if it's one thing that I'm a sucker for, man, and one thing that I love, it's a great story, man. It was an inspiring story,
Thank you.
And yeah, man, and for places, I look forward that connect. I mean, when I think about that and how you found your way to that, at that particular age, and in that way, like, I feel like the impact comes from like how deep your adversity was to get to that place. You know what I mean? Like, because of the fact that it's so drastically different from the reality that you were experiencing. Like, it's like, whoa, it really just has a deep impact. So that's, bro, that's like, wow. I found my way to at least like this phase of, self-care and that kind of thing in 2019, dealing with anxiety and stress on a level that was different than what I was used to. Because for the most part, I'm a really chill, really laid back, cool guy. And so it was like, wow. One of the biggest things that it opened up for me was like those underlying currents that you don't realize are there, because you're in it, those underlying currents of anxiety or those underlying currents of tension or what have you, and just how it shines a light on it, It's a really interesting journey. Yeah, man. So with that, and this mindfulness journey, where does it bring you as far as, what you do today, in relation to this life path,
Gotcha. So no, I agree. I think to your earlier point, mindfulness can help in pretty much anything, and self-care does come out of that, right? Like, how do you treat yourself based off of your image. So I think it all goes back to self-awareness.
Right.
And in terms of finances, luckily I've been able to combine my lifestyle with my brand.
Yes.
So
yes.
Yes. Yeah, I got very lucky, right? I've been blessed in that. Mindful Wizard, it's the truth. Mindful Wizard is who I am. So it has become part of my lifestyle brand.
Right.
So long story short, I'm a teacher in New York City. I work 9 to 5 New York City. And then what I do is I combine my meditation as a teacher when I'm teaching, and outside of the DOE system, the Department of Education system for New York City, I work with individuals and groups doing one-on-one consultation for social emotional support, almost like a therapist.
Right.
And I specialize in meditation. And then similar to you, I run my own publications. I have a podcast.
Right.
And I also, I'm starting to get into writing. So I use a lot of different mediums to teach meditation.
Man,
and and thankfully we also sell merchandise products with the Mindful Wizard logo. So all that has encompassed the brand together.
Man, I absolutely love it. I love it, man. I'm definitely gonna dig more into your material and really just enjoy, man, and appreciate it. I'm actually following you here on Instagram, and the thing I appreciate about it, man, is like, I love meeting people who are like, as they say, brother from another mother, and when you got people that's just that are in your tribe, before you even meet them, and so that's what I love about this environment. This is why I'm trying to get all my peeps over on FB and YT in this environment as well, because man, it allows us to just connect in ways that other platforms don't allow us to, or even to know as far as the interests. So I really dig that, man. Another thing I want to tell you is that I think I know what the future is about to be for all of us as far as creators, not only in this space of mindfulness and meditation, but in every space. And I'm thinking about this right now. I'm already like launching into it. My whole life is focused on this at this point. And that is us having our own apps. For exactly these, so that it's a portal actually, and it's not within other portals. It's a direct portal, which means that if you have things that are as impactful as we have with mindfulness, meditation, and these other things, having it in a focus environment is something that's going to be deeply impactful to what we're trying to do, because it's not spread so far out. And it's something I've been thinking about recently, where even a mobile website doesn't do, because mobile website is usually just going there for information, but this is more so like it's coming at you, all the experiences that we're pushing out in all these other places. So I just want to throw that at you, bro, because like I'm telling everybody, we're going to have like the best thing we could be doing is thinking about all these experiences and thinking about putting that inside an app where people can access us on their home screens immediately, as opposed to going through the other portals. So it's just something to think about, bro. Just wanted to throw that your way.
100%. I'll jot that down in the memory banks. I appreciate that idea. That's a really good idea.
No doubt, fam. Can you let us know where we can find you, or anything else we should check out as far as website or any other project that you're doing?
No, 100%. My main social is Instagram. You can just find me at Mindful Wizard.
Right.
Thankfully, we got about 3,000 followers there,
yes,
and growing. And God is good. And then if you want to listen to me uninterrupted, you can go to anchor.fm/Mindful Wizard. That's my podcast. We got about 55 episodes with some pretty good spiritual, people. And I'm going to have to invite Mr. Aaron next, because he got a lot of wisdom for the show.
Thanks, bro. Man, I really appreciate you, man. I was so looking forward to this, man, for so many reasons. And so it's really exciting to meet you, especially at this time, in our journeys and what we're doing. Man, definitely look forward to connecting with you. And by all means, bro, if you'd like to, please continue to hang around for the convo here. By all means, you don't have to go anywhere. But if you do have to run, bro, I just want to affirm you on an amazing day today. It's been a pleasure, man. And man, I'm just excited to meet you, bro.
God bless, Aaron. Thank you again for the opportunity. I'll stick around for a few minutes because I have another engagement at 8:20. But I'll hang out, and I really appreciate you, brother. God bless.
Sweet, bro. You too. Thanks.
Thank you again.
Yes. Everybody, want to do a quick reset, quick refresh over here on FB and YT as well as CH. Lisa Shackleford says, Grand Rising King, have a blessed and safe day. You too. And Joyce Petaway says, it was hard as hell to join you or to get to you. I'm here now, so I'm tuning in. By all means. And thank you everybody else who's hanging out everywhere you are. If you are hanging with us here and you'd like to come up to the stage, by all means, throw up the wave. I see my good friend Marcy coming on up. And Tanisha, good to see you. And also, if you'd like to ping anyone else in who you think would appreciate this experience, by all means. Oh, and one more thing, y'all. And I'm going to be announcing this over and over because I'm so excited about this. And you could do this with me. If you hit the little plus button on your screen, like you would be pinging someone in, don't ping anyone in right this second, but look up in the top right-hand corner and you should see that share icon. Now we can share links to the room that we're in, to text messages, to other social media platforms, and beyond. So that allows us to take our goals even farther with this thing. That gives us a lot of flexibility. Thank you, Clubhouse. They got so many things coming down the pike that's like amazing that is practical. So on that tip, everybody, let's open up our microphones. I want to say a good morning to Marcy. Good morning, Marcy. Good morning. Good morning. How you doing this morning?
I'm doing okay. I'm just a little tired, but I'm okay.
Yes. I feel you on a little tired. You know, I think about the old saying, better slow motion than no motion.
Absolutely.
Oh, man. It's such a good thing, you know, when you just think about that and then you just can start from there and be like, all right, well, took the first step. So from here, you know, that means I can take a second.
That's right. I have had quite a busy week already.
Yeah.
And I'm just trying to move in a nice, calm, and soothing way, so
right.
Not to rush through anything.
Right.
I've been working on my website. I've been working on my coaching program.
Yes.
And all of that stuff is set to launch, and it's really been consuming a lot of time. But it's going to be worth it in the end.
Right. The hustle, the grind that comes with it, you know?
Yes. And then the internet issues with,
right.
I don't know for what reason out here, we just have had internet issues.
Right. Well, you know, I think about it, it's like, you know, I'm grinding it out every day. And when little things like that happen, you like, what the fuck?
Right.
How
many morning shows am I going to be kicked out of?
OMG. I know, right? It's crazy. But Marcy, as always, it's good to hang out with you. How's your week been so far? Besides that, what was this weekend like for you?
It was wonderful. I actually spent time with my husband. We went to check into a luxury hotel downtown Atlanta, and we just kind of went out to the malls and splurged and got a few things that we just felt like we wanted to have and relaxed. And we had wonderful evenings of dinners around town and just enjoying scenery that we normally didn't enjoy in the past. Like I remember driving past these places when I worked in the community and we were stopping. And the pandemic has taught me to actually get out and look at things and appreciate what's out there it has been there the whole time.
Right.
And
right.
I just haven't shown any love to it. And it's just like, what is wrong with you? Why did you not notice?
Yeah. Marcy,
and now
that's crazy.
I'm walking through the house and it's like, okay, this is all I have is this wonderful house. And I don't like it because I'm just indoors. So for me to get out for 3 days straight and just run the communities and be outside in the nightlife was different. I hadn't been out in the evening in almost a year.
Wow. Yeah, I see exactly what you're saying. You know, man, that's night and day. Like, you know, when you haven't experienced that long. I tell you, it's one of the things that I've been enjoying about this time, though. It's just like this time has like forced us to find ourselves in new ways. You know what I mean? It's like we've been forced to find ourselves, to entertain ourselves in new ways, to just find ourselves in new ways. Because what else you gonna do? You know? And what doesn't break you makes you. So I'm just like, man, I've been appreciating. So I think about what you just said. You know, I've been outside having such an appreciation for aesthetic. Like you said, now you mentioned something that resonates with me deeply. He said things that's been there all along. They've been there the whole time. And I call it the library book analogy, which is like when you go into the library, you know, you might be looking up aerospace, you know, so there's a book there about aerospace, and maybe right next to it is a book about, you know, the beautiful trees of the forest, and you might not see it because that's not where your focus is. That's not where you are in life. Like that's not where your mindset is or your mentality. And then you come back another day and you're like, hey, y'all got any books on trees, like amazing trees? And they're like, yep, right there. And you're like, wow, that was right there the whole time. Yep, it's just that that's not where your focus was. And so, you know what I mean, Marcy?
Oh, man, I was outside and when we went to this particular mall that I used to work across the street from for 4 years, this is the first time I've seen it since I left that job. And I looked and I said, wow, the trees are so bare. And my husband said, well, what's wrong with that? It's wintertime. I said, these are the same trees I'm allergic to as soon as they bloom. Like, they're so pretty. They're so pretty. And I don't get to see those. And I'm probably not going to see them again for a while because, A, I'm allergic to them. But B, I'm like, I can drive by with the windows closed and I'm going to start a fit of sneezes. It reminded me how much I miss the beauty of the area and the busyness of seeing so many people rush to get in and out of the mall at lunchtime, going to the food court and the holiday lights, and it was just everything. And I just stood there like, wow, I missed this for 4 straight years. I've missed it. I hated those trees. I wanted to actually burn them down. And now I'm sitting here saying, wow, I just miss seeing it. I miss smelling it, even though I can't stand it.
Marcy, that's so deep. When you have something that raises your appreciation on that level, like it brings it back to your awareness. It makes you really be forced to look at the simple things and the simple pleasures of life that we take for granted every day. You know? Wow. You know, I tell you, I actually enjoy that process, you know, as tough as it is at times to learn it, because I realized that, Marcia, you said something earlier that made me think about it. It's like, that is the process. Like the only way that you can appreciate the sunshine is that you have to experience the rain, else there is no way for you to be able to appreciate the sunshine, you know? And so life just has this kind of flow where sometimes in order for us to get to that next level of awareness or appreciation, we have to go without something. We have to miss it. It has to be taken away from us, or we have to be in a different scenario situation to then actually have a point of reference and something to compare it to. But in that, it's always amazing when you rediscover those simple pleasures. Marcy, just the beauty of a leaf and a flower to me right now. And it's just like, ah. And it was already, ah, but now it's like, ah. Oh my gosh, it's everything to me. So I definitely feel you on that, and I think that, again, this just takes us to a greater appreciation of life. If there's one thing I talk about every day, it's about being more and more and more and more and more and more in the moment, being in the moment, freezing in the moment. This is, presence gives us that ability to actually freeze a moment in time. And so I wrote something last night. In fact, I'm going to see if I can put it up here. I put this on Facebook last night, and I'm going to put this on IG, as you can imagine, in a few, as soon as I get a second. So check this out. I wrote this like 3 hours ago. Woke up middle of the night. That moment was then. This moment is now. Don't waste it by dwelling on a moment that no longer exists. This now moment will be gone soon. And the only question will be, did you spend this moment, this now moment, dwelling on the past or being present in the present? The gift is yours to unwrap or pass it up. Receive it, appreciate it, seize it. So that's what I'm saying, Marcy and Tanisha. We got to seize these moments, y'all. We got to seize them. Marcy, we have got to seize them. And I appreciate what you just shared about, how you all seize them. Marcy, you and your husband have a great flow. Never even met you all, never even seen you all together. But I can already see this beautiful flow that y'all have, that allows for you all to enhance each other's experience. I know. And I know you probably, of course, you got your other times when you're ready to knock each other over the head. But when it's not like that, it's amazing.
Absolutely. But we've been blessed to have a house that gives us separation.
That's what I'm talking about. Are you okay? Okay. Yes. This is the formula, ladies and gentlemen. This is the formula. This is how you keep from getting on each other's last. You might get on each other's nerve, but this is how you keep from getting on each other's last nerve. Like the one where you're like, all right, fuck it. That's it. I'm done.
He's got the big screen TV. He's got the Xbox.
Right.
He's got everything. He does tattoos and he draws. So I
love it.
Table.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
He's got airbrush. Everything that he needs is up there.
That's what I'm talking about.
And he's got a wonderful sectional. So if I feel like I want to sit down and watch a movie, we can do that up there.
Right.
But I generally don't go up there.
Right.
That's his zone.
Yeah.
And that's the same as me with my office. He comes in when he gets in from work.
Yeah.
And he exits and he's like, okay, see you later.
It sounds to me like even with that formula, you both are like completely welcome in each other's space. Right. I love that. That is so cool. I'm telling you. Y'all can write a book, How to Be Easy and Easygoing by Marcy. And what's your husband's name? I don't think I remember his name. Jason. How to Be Easy and Easygoing by Marcy and Jason. Oh, man.
When it gets crazy, I just say, you leaving or you going?
Right.
I'm going.
Wait a minute.
I'm going upstairs.
Hey, Marcy, you know what that reminded me of? Birdman, when he said, are we finished or are we done? He said, are you leaving or are you going? Are we finished or are we done? Like,
That's it.
yo, that is so cool. I tell you, I can't wait to meet y'all. I swear, and I feel that way about everybody in here. I cannot wait to meet y'all in person because I'm telling you, y'all have become my new favorite people. Oh man, Marcy, it's always great to catch up with you, and always good to look forward to an amazing day with you. Today's at 8:30. Oh, your phone didn't ring. Your
nope. I didn't even turn it on.
No buzz.
I'm late for work. I'm late. It's 8:31. And I did have an 8:30 meeting, so I don't know what they're doing, but I suppose they may look for me, but right. I'm gonna wait and see.
There you go.
If they don't ping me, they don't need me. That's how I look at it, because they got me scheduled for 8:30 meetings 4 days a week now. 4 days.
Marcy, all I'm saying is you could like literally have a video series on how to handle meetings, how to keep shit in line. Because I'm telling you, I see you like a detective. You like, nope, they ain't gonna find me here. Nope, I ain't gonna do it. Right? She said, please do it.
I'm telling you, I really don't think they understand. Like, I'm just not available.
Right.
I'm not. And 8:30 is still very early.
Right. You know, Marcy, the thing I like about you is though when you say what you say, that shit don't move. And you don't even have to be like so like, you know, demanding about it. You just like, that's just what it is. Like, you do not budge. I love that shit.
Yeah, my boss said that yesterday. He says to me, we gotta fire this guy. I said, no, we're not going to do that because we don't know if he's been in the hospital. He says, well, he hasn't called. I said, do we know if he's in a hospital? And he says, well, no. I said, we're not. I'm not going to fire him. I'll call his family. And they told me he just got released from the hospital.
Wow.
Passed out, went in an ambulance, everything, and they wanted to fire him. I said, this guy was the seller of the month for January. 2 weeks later, you ready to fire him? That's awful.
Marcy, you bring emotional intelligence to the HR, you know, to the you bring a I just really appreciate your emotional intelligence and what you bring to the field, you know. And I also appreciate your tone too. You know, I don't know where you learned it, but your tone is just amazing. It just, you have this balance of being able to express things in a clear way while it still feels very loving and very warm and, you know, but still like clear. Like, I don't know where you learned that shit, but that's amazing, Marcy.
I'm not even sure.
You know what I'm saying, Tanisha? Tanisha, can I get an amen? Can I get an amen? Oh man. Marcy, as always, it's so good to hang out with you. It's so good to just be with you, you know, and hang out and hear from you. I'm glad that you had a great week. I'm glad that things are pretty easy going and that you are managing well, as always.
Yes, thank you. And I do want to say good morning to everyone.
Yes,
You've been doing great. I've been listening, but not the whole time because I've got too many meetings at this point. They want me to really be a member of executive leadership, so I do have to really like work.
Right.
And I'm really trying to protest this whole work thing because I'm literally in my nightgown right now.
Right.
I mean, I'm just like, I'm not feeling it. I need to find a way to not do meetings at this hour. Like,
right.
It's okay. I'm gonna go ahead and do as they say before they treat me like they tried to do the other guy and just tell me to go. So yeah, I gotta appreciate my executive position.
Right.
And I love you guys. It's been great,
too.
But I gotta jump on this call because they already picked me at 8:30 and said, "Don't forget the meeting."
Well, at least they may not know it, but at least they'll know why you come in that joint real smooth because you got your fill up. You got your love again. Awesome, love you. It's so good to talk to you. Oh my goodness. Go out there and take on the world with love as you always do.
Thank you so much. You guys enjoy your day. Talk to you soon, Tanisha, and hopefully I will be here tomorrow.
Yes. Take care, Marcy. Wow.
Bye-bye.
Yes. Oh man, it's the best, y'all. We have the best time here. Woo. Tanisha, good morning. How y'all doing? And if you all like to come to the stage, by all means, throw up a wave. Come on through. And if not, if you're taking over the world from behind your Zoom meeting, just don't be too serious. Crack a smile every now and then. You know, you might have to turn off your camera for a second and laugh, but you know. Yes. Good morning, Tanisha. How you doing today?
Good morning.
Good morning. Oh man, how are you today?
I'm well.
Yes.
I am good and better.
Yes. Isn't Marcy just like one of your favorite people now? Like Marcy is just one of my favorite. Like, I'm just saying.
She really is. And I enjoy the women that do come in here.
Right.
You know, what they give to this space, I really enjoy it.
Right.
Everything's a little bit different, but it gives me something. You know, I'm 30. So I've always enjoyed connecting with more seasoned. I don't like to say older, but I always enjoy connecting with like more seasoned women.
Yeah.
And just being able to absorb what it is that they're doing. One of my friends is in here, Tanisha.
Oh, sweet. Hey, Tanisha. Wow, I was just about to shout her out earlier too, and I just missed her name before she popped up.
My name are so much alike, but so very different.
Yeah.
And I feel like she gives me so much of who she is, and that helps balance me out.
Wow.
A lot of times, and yeah, man, I'm just grateful.
Yeah.
Things have definitely been a roller coaster for me, but I'm grateful.
Right.
I'm
Right.
grateful, and I'm being able to see things in a different light.
Let me tell you something. You know, when you say the word grateful, it immediately strikes a chord with me because no matter how far we go, we realize more and more every day how much gratefulness like literally starts to wipe all the rest of the stuff out. Like just no matter what you're dealing with, just leaning into that gratefulness. That's leaning into the moment. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah. Being able to even have a moment to be grateful.
Right.
Is gratefulness in itself. You know? Like,
yeah.
To be able to do that. That's just how I'm feeling this morning. I had made a post on Instagram about, my gardenia plants, and I thought I had just bought them, and I was like, oh man, I bought a dead plant. It looks good, but it's dying, and I was like really sad about it, and it just set me off into thinking about so much, and then I was like, I'm just gonna water them, try to drain the soil and see what happens. And then yesterday, after already watering them, it rained all day yesterday. And I was like, oh man, my plants drowned.
Water on top of water, right?
Yeah, I was like, my plants drowned. But I got up this morning, I went out there to check on all my plants, my ginger.
Yeah.
My photos. My gardenias, and I looked at it. My gardenias are so green and beautiful. I was like, okay,
they were popping.
I was really thankful. I was really thankful because it was a lesson for me, and I shared it on my Instagram because sometimes we think that we're drowning,
right?
And it's not. It's just a process of being cleansed.
I like that. Sometimes when you think you're drowning, it's not. it's just a process of being cleansed. I love that. I just wanted to freeze that in my mind. That's powerful. I love that.
It was good for me, but seeing that green just really lightened up my life this morning. Like, I was like, okay, I'm happy. I'm happy.
Yeah.
And it was a lesson for me. It set me off into thinking. That's why I didn't hop up on. I didn't hop up to talk.
Right.
Okay. So Keisha said she got to go back to work.
Oh, tell us how about. Well, I just followed you, Tanisha. Wait a minute. I can follow. Okay, so I just followed you here. So I look forward to seeing you again. Thanks so much for stopping through.
Yeah, man. So it was good. So just a little bit about Keisha, if I may.
Yeah, that's fine.
We don't know how we became friends, but we were friends for a while.
Okay.
On social media. And then, I'm a makeup artist, and I also do, some photography. She booked me to do some makeup for her son line. I'm like, okay, cool. Since the first time we worked together, we've been friends since.
Oh, wow.
From that point, she actually created an amazing group called Her Hood, Our Hood, which is basically a platform for women. A platform for women and everything women.
Wow.
Motherhood, sisterhood, entrepreneurship, just basically supporting women in everything, but in a different light. Really showcasing sisterhood and what that looks like, removing the idea of the mean girls, but really tapping into everything that the women go through. She brought me on board with that, and I'm really excited. We have a lot of great things coming up. We're going to host a financial literacy and couponing class really soon.
Oh, wow.
Next month. So yeah, it's amazing, but it's amazing. It's just I'm really, I think grateful is the word for me today.
Right. I love that. I tell you, again, and I thank you so much for sharing that. And I want to thank you also for sharing that about Tanisha. I mean, I guess you do got to represent like that when someone else it has your name as well. When you're twinning, you got to represent. And I love that. Everything that I heard, oh my goodness. First of all, going back, like they say, going back to the top. It reaffirms, right? First of all, it goes back to the top of your statement where you were like, there's some amazing women in this room and it takes one to know one. And I'm looking around like, yes, you're right. Because every woman that's here right now is amazing. And everybody that's hanging out with me over here on FB, YT, amazing. So like, yeah, that's fire. But everything you said about how things unfolded for her. Wow. Well, I can't wait to meet you, Tanisha. Hope to speak to you one day because, yeah, that's some amazing shit there. That was amazing. Wow. I can't wait to. When is the event you were talking about? You all are hosting. When is that going to be?
I believe it's March 13th.
Okay.
She'll probably text me and correct me. So when I say we are yin yang, I am the creative.
Right.
I'm the one that I can produce. I am a quick thinker.
Right.
It needs to be done when I'm thinking of it.
Right.
And she made me realize just how much knowledge I had when I'm pressed.
Oh, wow.
She's like, so you're a sponge. And this is what's amazing when you're connecting with the right people is that they see you, and not only do they see you, but they mirror you. So you get an opportunity to see yourself.
Right.
And she just told me one day, she's like, listen, Tanisha, you don't realize that you are a sponge of knowledge, and it's not until people really get to know you that they realize just how much you know, and I'm grateful that I've been able to pour into the right cups, but the event, that's in March. It's going to be a financial literacy and couponing friends who I've been friends with since middle school. People mistake this took us for twins in middle school, and we've been friends since then. She is a financial literacy coach. So we all got together and we were like, okay, well, this is what we're going to do, because especially now, you know, women are good at making money. Not a lot of women are good at maintaining money. Right. So Tanisha is a major couponer. Not extreme, but she's really good at it. So Didi was like, okay, well, let's put this together and show how just minimal can assist with your financial literacy and you know, saving some money and how to even where to place that money.
I love it. I love it.
So there's a lot of great things going on, and this morning I'm just grateful. I'm grateful for you, Aaron. Coco, yesterday, but I'm
Coco. No doubt. Oh man, look,
the people that come in this space are just
right.
Just amazing. Dope. That's why sometimes I don't even come to the stage. I just listen.
Right,
you know?
Right.
It's definitely a place of positive transactions, and I love it.
100. Well, I definitely appreciate that, and of course, that space is given right back to you because we love you as well for that same space and for holding that space. You know, it's a cipher. Oh my goodness, and that's what we just keep doing. You know, it's reflection eternal. We keep mirroring each other over and over and over and over. So I want to thank you too. And I hope that you have an absolutely amazing day today. And by all means, keep hanging around because I'm about to make y'all about to throw some water at me when I lay out what I'm about to say in a few. So Tanisha, always good to catch up with you. And hope you have a great day today. And T, yes. Also,
when are we recording, Aaron?
Oh, well, you know, we got to go ahead and start the DM process, and then we'll start to figure it out. Yeah, I definitely, if you can, like even right now, so I don't forget, if you could shoot me a DM, then we'll start figuring it out. So definitely do that.
Okay, I'm on it.
Yes. Also want to say good morning to T, and of course, Coco, Lorraine, V, Vera. Okay, so I'm going to tell y'all something funny, right? So I always read from my quote books. I read from my ponderings and that kind of thing. What's up to my peeps on FB as well? So today, let me see. I'm going to switch things up real quick. Let's see. Threes Company. Let's get it. This is a track that I made a couple years ago about my daughter and my son, and it's a song that's called Hold On to Your Dreams. I'm in the latter stages of writing this song, so you all will hear it sometime in the future. Can't wait for y'all to hear my song Shake It Off too. It's time now, especially with this app thing happening. So anyway, I usually read from my ponderings and my quotes. So today I'm going to read from my shenanigans book. And this is my book, just with all my shenanigans. All right. Now, if I was listening like my mom, I would have put dates on these, but I don't have them. So, yeah, one day I'm going to regret that. Like, this was dumb as shit. I wish I remembered the day this happened. I just told someone I was splendiferous to be silly and had no idea it was a real word. I was wondering why there was no red line under the word when I texted it. A moment of life's hilarious serendipities. Then I read the definition and it fit exactly what my intent was when I sent the message. Guess I'll have that for my word a day series. Now this one I did write the date on. This was on March 24th, 2020. I'm shaking my head at the fact that my father just called it the canola virus. Not the coronavirus, the canola virus. But then again, this is the same dude that says Marfa Luther King and Kayon West. My father's one of those dudes who just calls everybody out of their name, but he calls everybody out of their name like perfectly every time. So you can't tell whether the dude is forgetting shit or he's just being silly. I think he's being silly because I'm a fool and my mom's a fool, so we all apples of the same tree. So one time, my dad was he was pissed about the Ravens losing to Jacksonville Jaguars. So he's talking about, yeah, man, you know, the Ravens, they were doing this, they were doing that, they keep doing the same thing, man. You know, Jacksonville should have never beat them. So he went, when my father gets upset, he doesn't know, he forgets what he's saying because he's just like so passionate about it. So he went from calling them the Jacksonville Jaguars and be like, man, I'm sick of the Jaguars. I'm sick of it, man. That's why I hate the Jacksonville Jaguars. To calling them the Jackson 5. It's like, man, that's why I hate the Jackson 5. I am like in tears, y'all, like in tears. And when my father see you laughing, he don't know what you're laughing at because he's still all in his passion. I'm crying. He's talking about that he hates the Jackson 5 because they beat the Ravens. I said, oh my God. Here's a question for you. Should we be saying excuse me when we crack our knuckles, since technically we're releasing gas? I don't know. I get called Aaron Hall more than I get called Aaron Hill. But since I still, after all these years, haven't received my royalty check for the hit song I Miss You, this shit is going to have to stop immediately. Now, I'm still open to being called Aaron Hall if you like to Cash App or Venmo me, though. Even if it's just therapeutic value. And have you ever told someone to fucketh off? Like, not fuck off. Fucketh off. No? You should try it sometimes. That shit feels damn good the way it rolls off the tongue, Tanisha. I'm just saying.
I'm doing it.
Yo. Yo, I'm just saying, look, Tanisha, I can't wait. You got to tell me. You're going to have to tell me one day how that whole thing unfolds. Oh, my God. Because I can't wait. The look on that person. I can't wait to see what the look on that person's face was. I mean, it is like, yo, fuck it off. I'm just saying. And that's the thing about curse words. Because, like, yo, curse words, sometimes, yo, they be the best. Like, you can't describe certain things without using curse words. You cannot hit, like, your toe. Like, you can't stub your toe and be like, ouch. Like, that doesn't complete it. That's not enough. Like, it's going to hurt worse. You just got to be like, fuck. Something about it just makes it feel that much better. Yeah, Tanisha. So that's funny as shit. Yep. Fucketh off. You're going to have to tell me who you deliver that to. Real talk. So if any of you all like to come to the stage, by all means, throw up a wave. You can say, hey, the brother T, Coca-Cola Rain. And also over here, Jamie Cole. Jamie, so I sent you your invite to Clubhouse. So all you got to do is look at your text message and you should see your invite. So Clubhouse is starting to hand out invites based on how well you do in this app. Like if you are somebody that's doing positive things, you know, holding positive spaces. Yo, Renee said, fucketh off. What? That's right. She smiled. I just gave you a gem. It's a jewel for you right there. Yes, yes. So yeah, I'm telling you, I'm excited about a few things. Number one, and I mentioned it yesterday, I'm excited about this idea of a new app, the 5M experience. I'm excited about the fact that I think it's going to be my greatest contribution to mankind. And I'm excited about the fact that I get to do this during the time when I'm building with people, I'm building with human beings, and building with people who not only know who they are, but are continuing every day to figure that out, one day at a time, one movement at a time, one place of accountability at a time. We are human beings, basically, but these basic human needs are what we deliver to each other every day in the form of love, patience, compassion, persistence, consistency, serenity, sincerity. All these things is what it means to be a human being. And you know what I get tired of? I get tired of us taking the word human and only using it when we're talking about the downtrodden things that we do. Well, you know, I am human. I'm like, fuck. As a secular humanist, I'm like, yes, do you know what that means? Not just the mistake that you're using to represent it right now. It also represents the amazing things of what it means to be a human being. And so every day, I strive to continue to bring that positive aspect to what it means to be being a human being, so we can not just reference being human when we talk about when we make mistakes, because that's taking the concept of what it means to be human and demoralizing it. Here's what it means: the continuous misunderstanding and, most importantly, misrepresentation of our basic human needs will inevitably leave us spinning our wheels and or unfortunately going backward with regard to the subject of becoming a better, more conscious, healthy, and productive humanity. It's time to reconsider and reanalyze our long accepted beliefs about who and what we are, and to bring into a better light the idea of what it means to be human. In the words of Micah Smith, let's all grow and elevate. Open up your mind, yes, because it's time. We must grow. And it's not just a cliche. Love really is stronger than pride. Thanks, Sade. You might not be at your final destination, but you damn sure aren't where you started. Even perfectionists need a day off to appreciate their progress. Put in for your vacation day ASAP. Your journey appreciation day is long overdue. Let me be the first to say, congratulations, motherfucker. Now go pop a bottle or some shit. The grind will still be there tomorrow. And here's another one that I can't state this enough from the heart, because I think this is something we learn every day, sometimes the easy way, sometimes the hard way, but hey, there are some things, jobs, gigs, and other opportunities that you have to turn down, even if money is involved, because your heart isn't into it. Money doesn't take the place of the satisfaction of doing something your heart is into and that you love. Follow your heart, and the money will inevitably follow. Be encouraged. And so for me, that's the story of my life. I've been fortunate since the time I was 21 to do what I love, and the money would follow. Do what I love, and the money would follow. And so I continue to do what I love every day. And the thing that fortunately I love most is just being myself. Every day, every moment, accepting every last iteration of myself at every moment, every step of the way, every millisecond, every micro moment. Because the truth is, like they say, life is what you make it and what you make of it. and what you make with it. Which means even if you get lemons, it's cool if you get lemonade. Or as Coco would say, melanade. That'll be an insider for you. Y'all might find out what that means. But the thing is, whatever your aid, the thing is to be your best and first aid and not your worst aid. So that's what we're here to do every day in accountability. Yes. Tanisha, you're not at work yet? Are you hiding out in the stall or what? Nah, it's all good. I like to mess with people. Be like, yes, don't tell Tanisha I'm talking about her. She can't under your mic. Don't tell her. Yes. But this is something that I want to talk about that I don't think people talk about much. And I'm going to go against something that many of us have grown up with, especially in our demographic in the African American family. I feel that the phrase obedience is better than sacrifice isn't always a true or good objective statement for three main reasons. The two concepts, obedience and sacrifice, are mutually exclusive terms that have no direct correlation intrinsically. They aren't objective, binary, prongs, locked by default and equation with respect to all goals. Like, say, using a hammer is always better than using a shoe to drive a nail. Number two, there are scenarios where being obedient is a good choice and times where it clearly isn't. And I can just let that just sizzle and sink right there, because I think all of us can think of at least one case where obedience isn't the better choice. There are times when sacrificing something is a thing and times when it clearly isn't. Number three, there are scenarios where sacrificing something as opposed to being obedient is actually a positive moral decision. I.e., say if you have to sacrifice your long-held job position because your boss demanded that you do something that was underhanded or immoral, you would have to sacrifice your job. But it would be to do something as a positive morale. Many of us have just become so conditioned over the years to environments where this statement is supported and comes along with other social benefits like fellowship and emotional music and community support, that I say we've mostly been and become attached to the ring of it, to the ring of obedience is better than sacrifice. And so, on that tip, Sherry, would you be obedient and say good morning now, since I've now said good morning to you? And now, on that tip, on all of this obedience is not better and all of that bullshit. Thank you for being open. No, I'm just kidding. Isn't that crazy though? Right. Just turn around and just be like at the last minute. So be obedient and say good morning to Sherry. Oh man. So what do you think, Sherry? Do you when you think about that statement, obedience is better than sacrifice. This is a statement, of course, we grew up in environments with this in our church and our families and that kind of thing. Do you see that statement as a good statement? Not so good? How do you feel when you hear that obedience is better than sacrifice? You think it's antiquated? Ah.
I mean, it had a place at a time, but we gotta remember, particularly where this comes from a religious part, from Christianity, and when Christianity was introduced to Black people in America,
right,
it was introduced as a form of control. So, and let us also be very, very clear that the form of the Bible that most people was adapted and rewritten by human beings over several times from the original text. So now that we've said that,
now that that's out the way,
right? Now that we've gotten that out of the way, we have to also remember that even the Roman Catholic Church rewrote and used scripture to control. So, once you know that, you have to understand that, obedience is better than sacrifice, and those kind of statements were used to control people. So
yeah, it
has a point. I get it. I understand what it means, but it doesn't apply, particularly in this day and age.
Yeah. I definitely feel you on that. I mean, control. I mean, it's just one of those things where using statements like that make it easy. When you have people that agree with it, don't question it, and just go along with it. And it's like, okay, now this is enablement now for something, that's not good for us.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, I'm good. We don't have to be obedient. Not in that way. I mean, I think there's a time where obedience serves you. Right. And it's good for everything that's going on. But, like I said, all jokes aside, I'm good. We can pass.
Right. So, it's funny because I feel that way about a lot of statements where I'm like, I feel these statements can have some 2.0s. So like another one would be, instead of saying, treat your neighbor like yourself, I would say, treat your neighbor like how they desire to be treated, as long as it doesn't cross like your morals and values. Treat others, instead of treat others as though how you desire to be treated, treat others the way they would, as long as it doesn't, I have another way of saying it. I'll find it, but you get the point though.
Yeah. I want to help you out, bro. You sound like you struggling a little bit, but
yeah, it's one of those things where what I realize is, and I'm going to find the actual writing because I like the way I typed it up. Actually kind of gave some other thoughts with it, but the main gist, I guess, is that when we treat others the way we desire to be treated, then we overlook how they may want to be treated. We don't even take that into account. We dismiss it before we even consider it.
Say that again. When we treat others, say that one more time, please.
When we treat others the way we desire to be treated, as opposed to treating others the way they desire to be treated, we immediately dismiss their desires. We dismiss their wants or their preferences. We immediately assume what they may want just because we want it, or just because we like it, or we think they should want it. So that would be the 2.0. It'd be treat others the way they desire to be treated, as long as it doesn't, cross the line of your morals and values, put you in jeopardy in order to do it. That way you can be considerate. That way you can ask a person, would you like to be treated this way? Like, this is the way I would treat myself. Sherry, would you like me to treat you this way? And then you can either say like, no, I'd rather you actually do this for me. And I think the application is there's many different things as we can think of. It's almost like consent, if you will. So I just don't think people think about that. Yeah, and I only bring it up because I don't think people think about that. I mean, it sounds nice to just say, treat others the way you desire to be treated. Because, there are many situations where we meet on certain terms, as far as maybe love and respect. I mean, general like respect and some things like that. But it assumes all those places that we don't. So, I find it interesting. So today is Wednesday, and we're here as far as our segment with Sherry. Wednesday, we have our hot seat creative brand strategy sessions, and it's always a fun day when it comes to that. So I'm looking forward to that today. It's just,
yeah, me too.
So as far as strategy, where's your mind when you think about strategy, in this moment? What do you think is the most, I guess you could say, significant thing? If you had a top trending news of like what people with brands are thinking about right in this moment on a daily basis, whether it be because of these times or whether it just be in general, it's a common thing. What do you think that would be?
So you're asking what do I think brands read? I'm sorry.
No, it's my fault. It's the way I'm phrasing it. What do you think right now is the most significant thing that brands are considering or thinking about or trying to figure out in the world right now? Like, whether it be because of the times we're in or it's just something that's just common. We're just trying to figure it out as far as brands. What do you think brands that are struggling are trying to figure out right now? Mostly. Sorry about that.
Okay. So brands that are struggling. Well, I think, struggling. I don't know where that yarn just came from. Brands that are struggling. So you changed it to be brands that are struggling. But now that I think about it, I think it's brands in general. It's always the question of growth, right? How are you going to grow?
Right.
What's your next best move? That's always the question. Because last night, I spoke to a friend of mine who works for a multi-billion-dollar company and is vice president now, right?
Right.
And they just kind of merged with another company. And,
right.
That's the question. That's always the question.
That's always the question,
so
right? Right.
What's our next best move? Whether you're a small to medium-sized business, which are the businesses owners that we talk to, or you're a multi-billion-dollar business, international multi-billion-dollar business like this company, it's always about growth.
It's always about growth, right?
That's honestly the whole point of talking about branding and strategy, and more so on the strategy part. Like, how are we going to take over the world today, brain?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So,
yeah, that is always the thing that's on the minds. Like, how do we get to that next level? I think it's probably, you have this extra layer of COVID happening. Do you feel like it's been better for us as, for brands going through a time like this and having to face drastically doing things different? Do you think that it's better in the long run, or do you think it caused more destruction, more bad? What do you see this from
I think it's absolutely been better in the long run.
Right.
I mean, it's a painful lesson for the whole world to have to live through this.
Right.
But at the same time, we cannot, or we should not, remiss the good things that have come out of it.
Right.
There's some growth that has come out of it personally and professionally for, I think, just about everybody, and even as a brand. How do you operate lean? How do you operate lean? That is reasonable. What are the bare bones essentials that you need as a business to maintain and still stand? I think in some ways, this pandemic has been a blessing in disguise.
Right. Yeah.
A painful blessing in disguise.
Right. Yeah, I definitely understand that. I really fall on the side of like, what doesn't breaks you makes you. These times when we're forced to look at things from a different perspective, it grows us in places where we grow limbs and things that we didn't know we had, or that we didn't know we needed. That's what I look at. I look at so many branches, so many businesses that have now grown limbs on their business with virtual services or virtual meetings that just didn't exist before. So ultimately, I think that, yeah, I mean, I often think about there's some jobs where now on Fridays, instead of making everybody come to work, for these long meetings, we just do meetings over Zoom, and it's much easier to do, and it's much more manageable. There's certain, go ahead.
No, even to that point, even yesterday, when I was talking to my friend, I was like, hey, we're talking about what's going on with work. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. So, tell a few people that I knew that work with him. I was like, telling him, I said, hey. And he was like, yeah, we'll have to see when the Wednesday crew comes in. And I said, the Wednesday crew? He said, yeah. So, mind you, the company never believed in telework. As a matter of fact, they actually banned it.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, they banned telework early on. And because they felt like people who were working at home was thinking their pajamas are working and things like that. So that was interesting. But now, because of COVID,
it's changed, right?
They had people come in on alternating days.
Got you.
So certain departments or certain staff come in on alternating days, which I think is actually very smart. I think also any company moving forward could do something like that, and it would allow people the opportunity to still get their work done, but also handle their life and just slow down. I mean, the all day, every day isn't for everybody, but
right.
Alternating days could work, even for our kids going to school.
Right. So right before we jump to our Black History fact of the day, I want to ask you one more question that I want to see if, how we both fare out on this. So right now, what would you say is the number one thing that you recommend to, either brands, either, personal brands, creators, and that kind of thing? The number one thing that you think they should do during this time of COVID in lieu of it or in response to it?
Do a reevaluation.
Okay.
So you and I were talking about this yesterday. A SWOT analysis
right.
is everything right now.
Right.
And if you're not familiar with the SWOT analysis, it is literally where you take an inventory of your strengths, weakness, opportunities, and threats, and figure out what that is for your brand right now,
right,
and moving forward, because everything has changed, and you have to know how to manage it, deal with all of it.
Right. I love that. In fact, I'm not even going to add to that because I think that's a real good point for people to learn from, for us to use and utilize in order for us to, apply that and for it to benefit where we're going, get our heads clear. The SWOT analysis, you said strength, weakness, opportunity, and threat.
Yes.
Yeah, and where can a person take that? Do we go online and just type that in, or?
Yeah, that's probably the simplest way. There's so many. There's a lot of information out on the internet about SWOT analysis.
Right.
And essentially, you kind of create a cross in the middle of the page so that you have 4 blocks.
Yes, yes.
4 boxes, and one takes each letter, and you just fill out where they are and where there may be some overlap or something you may be overlooking.
Makes sense. I love that. That's a great tip. So our Black History, one of the things, real quick reset, I want to say hello to Coach, hello to Meyer. Thanks so much, fam. Hello to T, of course, Coco. We're about to go into our Black History uncommon fact for the day. And as always, you all can click on Sherry's first Instagram post and you can follow along with us and see who this light is today. Who you have today, Sherry?
Okay, so today we are looking at, James Armistead Lafayette.
Okay.
And Lafayette is the French, was under Lafayette. He was under the, tongue tied.
It's all good. The Porky Pig.
Under Lafayette, the French general who helped American colonists was fighting for their freedom.
Oh.
He infiltrated the British Army as a spy near the end of the Revolutionary War. And then he once reported to Benedict Arnold, the colonist who betrayed his troops to fight for the British, and he provided crucial intelligence to help defeat the British and end the war. So he was a slave in Virginia in 1781, and he got permission from his owner, who helped supply the Continental Army to join the war effort, and Lafayette dispatched him as a spy because he was bilingual also.
Oh, wow.
One of the things. Yeah. But he was posing as a runaway slave, and he joined British forces in Virginia, who valued his knowledge of the local terrain. And from there, he moved up into becoming a double agent. He did eventually win his freedom through the Virginia lawmakers who lobbied for him to gain his freedom, and his owner was paid 250 lire in 1787, which was a lot of money then. And then he went on to get married and have a family, and actually owned his own farm in Virginia.
Oh, wow.
So you can catch a picture of him on my Instagram page, and the longer version of who he was. And then also I want to ask people to make sure that you check out my Instagram highlights, because, and I see Coach in the room specifically, Coach, there is a scholarship that is available to HBCU students right now that a good friend of mine, Angie Ange, who's a radio personality, she's very much into HBCU culture, fellow Howard University graduate, and she posts things about college all the time, and that was something she posted and I needed to share it. So please reshare it, even if you see it there in my Instagram stories.
Oh, nice. Okay. That's what's up. Meeting with Sherry. Can you let us know what's happening? Not today?
No.
She said no.
You know what?
Right.
Can we just be honest? I've been on vacation
Right.
since Sunday. And you know what? Meeting with Sherry, honestly, well, you already know this. Everything is taking a revamp and a redesign.
Right.
So I'm going to take the next few days to work on that.
Love it.
Instead of keep pushing something that I want to change. So
Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it.
And being obedient to me.
I love it. There you go. Look, you know what?
And my manager.
I love how you did. I did say, I love what you did there. You know, I definitely dig that. And you just actually framed up really the thing that obedience, where we can use it the most. And that's just being obedient to our own thoughts, our own voice, our own hearts. Yes, yes, for sure. Sherry, thanks for sharing that Black History fact.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, yes. And anybody if you'd like to come to the stage, by all means, you can throw up a wave, and we're going to continue to keep this thing going. Say good morning to you too. Also want to say hello again to my Facebook peeps on YT as well. Wait a minute, got a couple comments in here. So, yes, Renee Taylor says, follow your heart. Yes. It's so funny. I said that the other day for the very first time. Yes. And so you're right. Follow your heart. I always say, you know, the most important thing you can do is to hear other opinions, but follow your heart. Renee says, I'm off work today. Thank you so much. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Renee got a new exploitive. Fucketh off. I'm just saying, when you put that on there, Sherry, have you ever told someone to fucketh off? Like not fuck off, fucketh off. You got to try it if you haven't.
That would be enough. That would be enough.
You got to try it. It rolls off the tongue so well, I promise you. Oh, man. So, yeah, Renee, you got that extra exploitive now in your back pocket. Yes, yes. So we're going to keep this thing going. I'm going to read a couple more thoughts that I think are ones for us to really think about. The most important thing we can do in a world where we have the ability to make things, quote unquote, seemingly perfect is to not take advantage of that ability at all. Because in doing that, we're editing our real selves out of the equation. I talk to people, this is one of those things I could relate to so many things, whether it's just editing your real self out of the equation, whether you need to have a talk with a family member, you need to be real, you need to be honest, you need to be genuine and authentic, and you are being reluctant for all the different reasons, or whether it's something like creating content. And like what Sherry and I talk about with creative content strategy, which is that you got to be your authentic self. You got to let it flow. It's the only way it's going to really work. So you should not edit your real selves out of the equation. You should let the chips fall where they may, let it be what it is. That way you can continue to be yourself. Cognitive distortion. When I first found out about that, I was finally able to put a name to something that I'd been intuitively aware of as a psychological state for some time, even though I had no clue. But when you really read it, oh yeah, it makes sense. Sometimes when you think you're taking the horse to the water, you're actually the dehydrated and confused horse that hasn't been drinking the waters of acceptance. Learn this fast and you'll realize that the only horse that needs to make sure they're drinking the water is you. Then you'll be able to accept the horses that aren't willing to do what it takes to quench their thirst, or worse, save their own lives. Like they say, you can take the horse to the water, but you can't make him drink. Just make sure in you're trying to take the horse to the water, this isn't really a case of you not drinking the waters of acceptance, that this person just ain't gonna listen. It just ain't gonna be you. You planted the seed, let somebody else come through. And so on that tip, everybody, let's say a huge good morning to the good brother, Meyer. Clarity. Meyer, what's happening, fam?
Meyer, good morning, everybody. How's everybody doing?
Yes.
It's great. Always great to have you around, Meyer.
It's always great to be here. And I also have to share that daily Black History fact on my Instagram as well. Just keep people educated and shit. So I appreciate you doing that segment every day.
Wow.
Absolutely. Thank you.
That's so dope.
Before I forget, actually, you're talking about you can't lead a horse to water.
Right.
You can't lead a horse to water. You can't make a drink. There's this B.O.B. line that resonates with me. That's exactly like that, where it's like, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. You can lead a man to knowledge, but you can't make him think.
Yes.
Like, yo.
Yes.
So, I share that.
I love that. It's an interesting thing, man. You think about knowledge, you think about, making others think. It's interesting because one thing that I have learned that's like an interesting little twist on that to me is that, when you, like, the more knowledgeable you are about other people's stories, the more it at least opens the doorway for you to think about what life might be for someone else, or to have empathy, to have the ability to have empathy, or, for that to be unlocked. And so it's interesting how knowledge plays a part in making us think, even though, the person still has to have some desire. They got to have some blockages removed, or at least not be too clogged up. But, I'm going to tell you, Meyer, it's one of the reasons why I like the Socratic method so much, is why I like questions, because to me, the questions, homeboys, the questions,
It's the questions.
It's the questions. Come on, the questions. It's the questions.
Say never.
What you said, right. Because to say never, I mean, you said never twice. Yo, classic. like water for chocolate, baby. If y'all don't know, Common, like water for chocolate. If y'all ain't listened to that album, man.
One of my favorites.
Bro.
That's like the Desert Island soundtrack. I gotta pick that and Beat with Common. Those are my top.
Yes, 100%. Bro, did you know that first track on there, the Time Travel, was like a special moment because you had D'Angelo in there, you had Questlove on drums, you had Jay Dilla, I think was on keybase, I think you had James Poyser. Yeah, you had the whole Soulquarians. It was, I think they said the only time when that happened like that, with all of them were together and made a song.
So. Man, that's like, that whole album is just a moment in time. I used to like watch the BTS footage as a kid. I was just like on the internet, I want to know everything about this. And it's just cool to watch them all. And yo, Common is so scrawny in that footage compared to what he is now. It's
right.
funny to see.
Right. But you know,
wait, I want to watch this. Where can I find this, you guys? I didn't even
probably like YouTube. If you just look up like making of like water for chocolate, you probably got it on that. Cool.
Yes. Yeah, like Water for Chocolate was just one of those albums. Favorite track on that. I mean, there's so many. Thelonious, man, that joint just makes you bump. You know, man, of course, Time Traveling. What'd you say?
Cold-blooded.
Cold-blooded. Ugh, the funk, man.
Yeah.
So Common was one of my first influences, you know, one of my biggest influences to date. In fact, a lot of people would say that my style was similar to Common in the way that I pronounce words and my flow. And he was a huge, I used to love her. Resurrection. Come on, bro. Whew.
All classics. Oh, man. Same here, by the way. Like, sorry to cut you off.
Oh, you good.
It's a little funny anecdote. The clarity in my name actually comes from a song that Guru and Common did together called State of Clarity.
Wow.
So it goes back to it. And I was like,
damn,
man,
yo.
that's a hard name. I should take that. It used to be U06, which is a shitty fucking name.
Don't we all start off with shitty fucking names, though? Like, yo, I was... Oh, man. Yeah, but Common, definitely. Common, Most Def, Talib Kweli, you know, the Roots. Roots was a huge influence for me. Black Thought. Yeah, they my peeps. Yeah, bro. So
that whole set of hip hop right there.
Right. I really feel like, I hate to say this, but like when it comes to hip hop, like for me, that's the cream of the crop right there. It's just a special time for me. That boom bap.
Oh yeah.
Nothing like
Those
that.
are the lifers.
Right.
They about it.
Did you know KRS-One was here? Did y'all know that KRS-One was on Clubhouse now?
Oh, word.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That's crazy. I found out about Clubhouse through Lupe Royce. I'm looking out for him.
Yes.
Okay, wait, has Lupe made any new music?
Yeah. Yeah, he keeps dropping stuff. He's got that tape with Digital 45 he put out, which is pretty dope. And then he did an album with Virgil Abloh.
Oh, wow.
Dinosaurs.
I have to go check it out. I think he was so like underrated.
Yeah.
Lupe was
For sure.
He really is. He's clever as hell.
Yeah, I'd rank him like, he doesn't get those flowers. I think he did a lot of I think he dipped his toes into the what's the word I'm looking for? I guess pop radio a little bit.
Yeah.
Some joints, and so people overlook his lyrics for that. But man, he'll fuck someone up. Remember when Most was all freestyle battle anyone?
Yeah. Yeah.
And Lupe's like, I'll take that. He just shut the fuck up.
Do I remember that? Oh my goodness. Oh man. Yeah, they're my peeps there. They're definitely my peeps. Yeah, bro. So how you feeling today otherwise, man? How's things going for you?
Oh man, today's the last one. Woke up on the right side of the bed.
Yeah. It's always good, right? As opposed to the floor or the or the wrong side.
So just enjoying that.
Yes.
Trying to figure out what the plan for today is. And soaking up some good vibes in the meantime.
That's what's up, bro. Well, as always, bro, it's good to see you, man. And good to chop it up with you, especially go down that memory lane like that, bro. For all means.
Oh, yeah.
So I definitely appreciate it, man. Have a great day today, fam. And look forward to chopping it up with you. I think this thought you're gonna like too, because I found it, Meyer. I found it, Sherry. I found it, LT. This is what I was trying to say earlier, Sherry. So it's do not treat others the way you desire to be treated. In general instances where your preferences just so happen to match, you'll be spot on. However, with the reality of living in a world of different preferences, you'll inevitably be unintentionally assuming and unknowingly dismissive to what others desire, even before putting the principle into action. In my opinion, the more appropriate mantra, or in this case, scripture, should be treat others the way they desire to be treated, so as long as it doesn't jeopardize your morals and values. This way you can be respectful, sensitive, and mindful of others' desires while maintaining your personal values. Everybody wins. So that's what I was stumbling through earlier. Sure.
Got it.
That's it right there.
Let me hear the short hybrid version of that. Don't assume, because when you do, you make an ass out of it.
Right. I love it.
Yeah.
What'd you think about that, Meyer? Like, this is my 2.0. Again, I know many of us grew up in a culture, especially if it was connected, to our religions or our spiritual backgrounds. And, we always hear the do not treat others the way you desire to be treated. Or treat others the way you desire to be treated, which in general cases, like we know what we mean in relative terms, it makes sense. But yeah, there's sometimes that shit can go terribly wrong. What if you don't love yourself? You gonna treat others like that?
Yeah, but if you want to treat yourself like shit all the time, like
right.
I'm treating everyone the way I want to be treated.
There you go.
What's up, douchebag?
And that's all I'm saying. Like, if you start off, if you check in and you see how others desire to be treated, then you can make a decision from there. And then boom, everybody wins. LT.
Yeah, it's part of going with the flow. It's like, it's the same thing as like, you read people's energy and how they talk, and you just sort of like reflect that back to them a little bit to make it more comfortable.
Right. That's it, man.
Easy into that.
That's it. So that's how I feel about it. And yeah, so Sherry, that's what I was trying to say earlier, and I was stumbling through it. I couldn't get the words right, but that was it. Oh, man. I want to know what you think about this, LT? Would it be LT? Would it be LT? Would it be LT? Would it be Love Rising? So do you think, I'm like this, I feel you should not treat others the way you desire to be treated. You should.
That's my motto. Like, you don't treat people the way that you want to be treated, because you don't treat you the way that you want to be treated sometimes. So how would you actually figure out how to treat somebody like you when they're not you? You can't treat. This comedian said it this way. He said, she would want you to be to her what she would be to her if she was you.
She would want you to be to her if she was. Wait a minute. Damn, I almost had it. She would want you to be to her what she would be if she was you. Was that it? No, no.
Yeah.
Oh, that was it?
Like, so he was saying, he said girls are so confusing. They want you to be to them what they would be to them if they were you. So she would want you to be to her what she would be to her if she was you. That's how people are. They want you to be to them.
Oh man, that is classic right there.
And what I'm noticing is that say how they want to be treated. They just assume that you know that this is
That's another one. That's another one for you. That is definitely another one.
What do you mean? And then based off of where they come from, they want to know how to treat you.
Right.
They want to have no
no point of reference.
Listen, I try to figure people out. I watch them, and I'll ask a question like, that bothered you? And they go, oh yeah, that bothered me. Oh, okay, I didn't know that bothered you. So I take note of that.
Right.
That's just like funny thing. One of my friend girls, who came out to visit, told me that her mama didn't like me because her mama thought that I was too old to be around her. I said,
wow.
What?
Wow.
She said, that's why she reacted funny towards you. I said, your mom crazy. I said, look, your mama, I'm friend. I ain't being disrespectful to your mama, but your mama ain't my friend. I don't care what your mama
right. That's right.
Your mama is like mobile. I said, that's why I come to the door. I say hello and get back in my car. You come on outside now.
Keep it simple.
Fight with your 60-year-old mama because she want to be my friend.
Right.
So
that's so crazy. That is so crazy. like Sweet, what was her name? Sweet Brown, Sugar Brown. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. And look, that now you said a mouthful right there, because that shows you just because you might be a certain age don't mean you're grown. Like, don't mean you're mature. That's the thing. You could be grown and still immature.
I oftentimes tell people that just because somebody's age say one thing does not mean that that's them. Sometimes people have stopped growing at a certain age, whatever time, they've had a situation. So you can be thinking that dealing with 40-year-old, but she's still acting like
like she's 4.
16-year-old.
Right.
And no disrespect to her mom, but that's just how she is,
Right.
She has her own temper tantrums. I don't have time for that. You 20 years older than me.
Right.
Tell me something. You ain't out with you. No, you ain't out with
Right. I'll tell you.
10 years older than your daughter. But
right.
We don't hang out like we ain't like. She my peoples, but
right.
We just peoples. We do business together and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, she's an adult.
That's
she's
it.
Not 12 when she's hanging out with me. So
right.
We don't hang out.
Right.
We talk about business. She come to town. She come see me. But we ain't what I'm saying. We ain't. I just told her, I said, you choose. You know what I'm saying? That's your mama, not mine.
Right.
At the end of the day, if your mama wants you around me and you 30, almost 40 years old, then maybe you should be. If you think that's what needs to be.
Right. Well, I like how you just, you helped her with that personal responsibility. Like, look, this is your choice. You could listen to your mama or you could listen to yourself, but like, this is your choice.
It's always a personal choice.
Yeah.
We're dealing with people. I always initiate the introduction with someone just in the space of holding them hostage.
Right.
I treat them with love, and love is just a universal thing. I'm treating you the way that I want to be treated, or the way that you want to be treated.
Right.
I'm treating you with an extension of the universal thing, which is love.
Right.
I don't hold you. I don't prejudge you.
Right.
And sometimes people be like, man, you give people opportunity. Why not? They didn't do nothing to not have an opportunity, so why not give them an opportunity?
Yeah.
I can't, look at them and be like, oh, such and such effed up, and she look like so and so. So treat her like so and so. You can't do that, man.
Yeah.
Do that.
Right. Yeah, you can't do that kind of umbrella stuff and just group everybody under, one way of thinking or labeling everybody. Is like, nah, that's not the world that we live in. That's not the world.
But you won't get nowhere like that, though.
Right.
You won't move. It'll always be you shifting and trying to be like, just be consistent. That's my thing. Just be consistent. let's make this simple. Be consistent. When you say you're going to do something, do it. You know,
Right.
if you're not going to communicate that,
Right.
you know,
Right.
And treat everybody with respect. Treat me with respect. I treat you with respect.
Right.
You know, respect. You get some respect. Love, you get love.
Yeah.
You don't have to do any of those things because those are just natural. Those should be natural born things that come from you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I definitely feel you on that. I want to also do a quick reset here. Say hello to LaTanya. We say hello to Nia. Thanks you so much for hanging out with this AP morning show. You gotta give respect in order to get respect. You gotta give it.
Is that a true statement?
That you have to give it in order to get it?
Yeah.
Let's see.
No, I challenge that.
Let me. I was just about to say, let me think about it and see if I actually agree what I just said. You have to give it in order to get it. Okay. So no, the answer, no, I actually feel like, okay, you don't have to give respect in order to get it, because like you said, you can demand it. I guess it would be one of those things you have to give like positive respect if you expect that kind of positive respect. But actually, I think you bring up a really good point, LT, with this. Go ahead. I like what you're saying, because yeah, you could demand respect and not even earn it. You can demand it.
But don't they say that respect is earned, not given?
They do say respect is earned, not given. Which, you know what I like about that statement, Meyer? It makes me think about something. When you say respect is earned can be like, well, I guess it depends on how you define it. It could be like someone, usually earning, Anyway, I don't want to get into semantics, but I think
accolades, though.
Yeah, maybe accolades. But I tell you what, LT, I like what you just, and I also we want to say hello to Sherry. Again, Edify T, by all means. If y'all want to jump in this convo too, it's a great convo, and I like where this is about to go. So LT, you brought up a good point. Respect, you don't have to give respect in order to get it, because I would imagine you probably would say some people demand respect. Like you said, and you think about the military. Go ahead, tell me more what you're going to say. I like where you were going with this.
Yeah, so I challenge that only because, one, like if you think about the military, right? That's just one situation.
One form, yeah.
I don't think that the people that come in, like the recruits come in, want to be yelled at. And they know that the stuff the officer spitting on in their face, like talking really close.
Right.
That ain't a form of respect. That's a form of fear.
Right.
I want to put you in a fearful place to respect me.
Right.
And the olden days, not so much now, because these kids can be a little disrespectful, but back in the day, like when I was growing up, they used that same tactic.
Yeah.
They put you in this space of, you're going to fear me to respect you, respect you. And the thing is that wasn't the respect.
Right.
That was fear.
That was fear, right.
Right? But a person who carries themselves with respect, and even if they're in a room that feels respected or have a sense of disrespect, they either remove themselves or they remove the people.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I remember Maya Angelou having an interview, and she was saying that someone was at her house, she was hosting a party, and he was doing something that was totally out of line in her house.
Right.
And she just said, "Not in this house. Get out."
Right. Right.
And I think respect goes with the person.
It's relative. Yeah, it's relative.
What can be respectful to you can be disrespectful. Like I say to my children, right? My rule is, say what you mean what you say, just don't say it mean. So they get to speak.
Right.
They get to speak. And so, depending on what their tone is, I would say to them, I think you might want to be that, maybe take a different tone, or maybe say it a little slower, because the way that you're saying it is a little aggressive.
Right.
Not that it's disrespectful, and not that you can't say it, but it may feel a type of way. You may be giving off something, because especially my 17-year-old, man. I mean, she don't talk much, but when she do talk, it's a little sly, you know, a
right.
little sarcastic. I said, Faith, you sure about that comment you just made?
Right.
They go, no, I'm being disrespectful. I said, just check the comment that you just made. I
Right.
don't disrespect you, which means that you acknowledge that what you said had some kind of like, you know, some kind of fire behind it.
Yeah, right.
The intention wasn't good.
Got a little edge on
And
it.
I think that's what the respecting is when the intention is off too.
Right.
So respect is one of those things that I don't know if you can earn it. I think you can just be respect and put yourself in positions where if that respect or what you deem as respectful is exhibited to you, you can either remove them or remove you.
Right. I definitely feel you on that. Coco, good morning to you. Coco, how you doing?
Good morning.
Good
Doing okay. I'm doing okay.
Yes.
I'm doing okay. I'm doing okay. Did I mention that I was doing okay? Because I'm pretty sure I'm doing okay. I want to do okay. I'm trying to do okay.
Right. Well, I only have one more question for you. Actually, that's like completely unrelated.
Yes.
How you doing?
You know, I would say okay. For the record.
Right. Coco, I know that what we're talking about right now, you definitely can speak on. And I was curious. I'm like, I wonder what she's thinking over there with regard to this. Are you feeling anything?
Yeah, I believe that I am full of respect. I'm respectful.
Yeah.
And so that is how I operate.
Yeah.
And then I look in the meaning of what respect is. And some people look at it as something that someone else would, you know, well, if you do this, then I'll respect you. And if you don't do that, then I won't respect you.
Right.
Which means I'm putting the power of what I do in someone else's hands. I don't believe that other people should have the power over how I treat them.
Right.
So I want to definitely show up, giving respect regardless of what I receive. And that's been difficult as somebody who's empathic, who can take on people's emotions. And, you know, it's like, well, I'm not going to respect you if you don't respect me. But okay, if you don't think, you know, and then all that. So to be respectful in terms of acting and showing up and energy, you know, and then I guess there's just different ways of looking at respect.
Right.
So I do believe that people earn respect, but I can treat them respectfully, even if they haven't earned my respect.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, because it's like it's really adding up to even what LT was saying earlier, that in certain cases, like it's a choice. You know, in many cases, most cases, it's a choice. So you can choose to be a particular way to someone else, despite what they're being to you. And most of the time, we do that for different goals. Sometimes it's because we're afraid, and we're doing it because we feel in fear. And then in other times, we may even be choosing to do it to make a deposit into trying to make something better that we maybe even have a good reason to believe that it could be better if we make that deposit. I've been in both situations, you know, and I'm quite sure many of you all have as well. So I think you raised some really, really good, interesting points with this. And I'm jotting down as we speak, like I'm jotting in my notes on my little notepad here where I write down like room ideas. And I was just writing down for this to be a room idea where it's just about like what respect is, you know, how we define it, because the truth of the matter is it's all just subjective. Like all we're doing is talking about our subjective definitions of what is right and what's wrong, what we find respectful or disrespectful. But it's a fascinating topic because we talk about how we deal with it and how we work with it. So I'm really loving what you're saying.
Yeah, I've learned to not lose respect for myself in that process. right? Because you don't want to be a martyr either, which I have,
right.
which we can, with people who are disrespectful, depending on how, so I don't want to give people control, but I don't want to also be a people pleaser either.
Right.
So it's a balance.
That balance, right?
Because what do I do when someone disrespects me specifically?
Right.
And sometimes, in the guise of me being respectful, I'm actually it's a survival strategy.
Yeah.
And you go into humble mode, or into overcompensating, things like that. So it's learning that your self-respect is vitally important, as well, and that if people don't respect you, it's not an indictment on you. You don't necessarily. It's like, and I hate this terminology, but I don't know how to say it. Like, don't take their disrespect personally.
Yeah.
Or don't take it to heart.
Right.
So then, this whole rabbit hole around this topic of how to, if somebody's disrespectful to you, and it can be, depending on who it is, it can feel very hurtful.
Yeah.
And so how do you maintain your power and maintain your self-respect and show respect to them without making them, feel like you're kissing their ass?
Right.
So it's an interesting. Without overcompensating, I found that, especially around toxic people, or people that are fake and pretend to be, nice. Like, I found a lot of the racism here in Canada. It's like they act like they respect you, but they really don't.
Right.
So this covert.
Do you think that some people think that they're respecting you and they're just naive that they aren't? Let me put it this way. I really believe both are happening. That some people are naive and don't realize they're disrespecting because just their perspectives have been molded and shaped that way. And then some people do. What do you think when you think about Canada? What do you think about, like, a percentage? What side do you think it falls on more? People who are naive and don't know, or people that are aware and do know?
I think we are very disingenuous. We have two trains of thoughts.
Right.
And either one can rule the roost. That's an old-fashioned statement. What the heck is a roost? Either one can rule the roost depending on what serves them.
Right.
Right? So they may have a disrespectful thought about somebody, but be very respectful in their words and their actions, but not in their heart. Which then they say, well, but I was respectful. I was kind. I actually love Black people. I invested in a basketball for Black boys. In their heart, they're thinking that Black people that we're problematic, or that we have issues, or that we are not as smart. But yes, no, I love Black people. Those people, they are very interesting, and they just have this lovely way of self-expression. They're so expressive, right? And so in their mind, they actually think that that's being respectful,
right? But
yet, in their heart of hearts, that's not respectful at all. That's demeaning. That's placating. That's, so. Yeah.
This is, thank you for that, Coco. It makes me think of something. This is why, and you and I had a conversation, I always go back to this conversation where we were talking about empathy, and we were talking about, what does it mean? And I always go back to this. It's why I believe, like, knowledge. We were talking about knowledge with Maya a few minutes ago. Knowledge, I believe, of other people's situations. The more knowledge you have, the more you're exposed to it, I think is is how you create the breeding ground for empathy. And empathy creates, that's the mode of connecting. And I always think that that's what the source of it is, because I would say that what we're really looking here is like a spectrum, and where there isn't a clear line between when you're doing something because it's just how you think it's supposed to be because of how you were taught, and when you're doing something and you feel differently, you don't think it should be like this, and you're doing it purposely. And so I think that the biggest remedy to that is just literally people having conversations like this and as many people telling their stories as possible, because that's what allows people who don't have a point of connection to start building and having something that gives them points of connection. Because you're like, wow, I didn't know that this person went through this, or my cousin went through the same thing, or I lived in that place before, so I know what that feels like. So anywho, it just makes me really think about that with what the remedy is to this kind of thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So, you know,
and I
go
really
ahead.
appreciate what LT said about her.
Yeah, go ahead.
I appreciate what LT said about her daughters.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that whole, do you want to say that again? Did you want to rethink that tone? You know, that's great.
Wow. I tell you. So one of the things that this moment makes me think of, I want to again do a quick refresh. Say what's up to my homie, Marcella Shapard, man with the voice, Sherry Edify T. One thing that this makes me think about, Coco, and I wonder if you agree to this, LT, and anybody else in here. Hello to Delia. Good morning, everybody. If you would, I would love to do a room that's called something like, what does it mean to put some respect on it? And the whole goal would be exactly what we're just talking about now, just really the topic of respect. Because the truth of the matter is, again, all of this is just subjective. But the beautiful thing is when you can relate to people's stories more, then subjectively, you'll probably lean more towards feeling like you don't want to harm them than to harm them, or that they aren't trying to take over the world than you fear that they are, you know, or that you need to be some kind of negative way, you know, and carry this on. So yeah, I would love to do a room one day about respect. And so I would love it if we could join together on that and just do a room that just talks about respect. That's what I love about this environment too, because I'm always down for the conversation around etiquette. And this is the environment that's built on etiquette to talk about etiquette. So yeah. Would y'all do that with me? Could we do that together one day? It'll be a lot of fun. Yes. 100%. 100%. So if anybody would like to come to the stage, we're hanging around for a few. I'm sorry. What'd you say, LT?
I said, of course I'll do the room with you. I'm cleaning out my closet.
I love it. Oh my gosh. We had so much fun yesterday with LT in her closet. But yeah, if you would like to go ahead.
Give you an update on it.
Okay, go ahead. What you got? What you got?
It's there. We put everything in place.
Wow.
Good Lord. Yeah, there's some things that are in place, and I have a small box.
Nice.
Going out. I'm actually going through my drawer now.
Nice.
Find out everything else that's together. I didn't get rid of a lot. I will do that.
Right.
We didn't do that. We didn't OD getting registered.
Say ain't nobody got time for that. Nah, I feel you.
I'm going through and putting some things where some of things need to be now.
Right. That's what I love. Look, all I'm saying is this, right? The organizational process that brings you clarity, there ain't nothing like it. For you to find a place for everything to have its own space. I was thinking about you all yesterday. I was like, I know exactly what that's like. And I was like, LT is on the mission and she about to have this shit laced with space and and everything having a place.
But guess what? I wasn't the only one because I did a poll in my
nice.
And folks was just, like, I need a maid.
Wow. Super dope.
That, they, thought about some of this stuff, but, it's just not their thing. Some people,
right.
I realize that with some people, that they don't know how to organize some things. And
right.
No judgment.
No judgment. That's what it is.
You know how to put things in place or even give it a place. They may not have you thought about it that far.
Right. Right. My bad.
No, you're good. So, I'm just over here putting things where, giving it a place, organizing, and that's why sometimes I don't buy stuff unless I know that it has a place. Like, especially in my house, I won't buy it because I'm like, do I have a place for it?
I have a place, yeah.
I don't have a place for it. Then I'm just buying it and it's just going to be here, and this is going to be challenging. So, yeah. So, no drawers now. Come on.
I love it.
Girl, in this drawer. Getting rid of. See, this is how you actually shift the energy to move into a more open and free, abundant space is when you start to clear out stuff that you can't fit. And things that should be, that you don't, you're not going to wear it. Well,
right.
You're going to get rid of it.
Right. It's like it's like we might as well stop lying to ourselves. I tell you, again, it's one of those things I think about all the time. I'm like, man, I love to get rid of some stuff. Like, I love to find new place for stuff. I love to just be organized so that way my brain can function, That way I could be clear. I could be clear-headed. It's nothing like having that kind of clarity, that kind of flow. So, yeah.
My brain don't work really well when it has a lot of clutter.
Right.
So here's the other thing. Here's another tip for folks. Like, you don't have to get it all done in one day. You know, space that thing out to where you can get as much of it done as possible.
Right.
Like, I'm looking at one of my drawers right now, and I got like little belts in it. What are y'all doing? Nobody told y'all to be in here.
Look, you singing that. How did you get here?
Yes. You're not supposed to be here.
Ooh.
So I'm just going through and looking at some of the stuff that I do have and putting it back there in. I do want, a neater space. So, but I get, yesterday was to clean out the container, or to put everything in that container, and I will tell you that the container is cleaned.
Yeah. Nice.
I have my shoes all organized over there.
Nice.
So now we're out of the closet. We're out into the drawers now. Just trying to make this look a little bit more presentable. And this is a practice. This should be something that we practice to do, because we just, sometimes we're just buying a whole bunch of stuff. Okay, me, I'm buying a whole bunch of stuff. I won't say y'all. Y'all ain't got this thing. And listen, Etta Fly, she ain't up here on stage, but she went through something like this, I think, a couple of weeks ago, where she was going through her stuff as well.
Right.
And I stay in the closet now. I've seen that closet.
I tell you, it's one of those things where it's like, at some point you realize you got to stop treating your stuff to stuff. Like, at some point you buying your clothes, really. Like, this is
I looked at all those
overboard.
black shoes I had, and I said, really? How many black shoes do you need?
How many do I need?
Come on here now. One with a ruffle, one without a ruffle. Come on now. You didn't need the black shirt.
Right.
Every time I see a black shirt, I go, ooh, it's a nice black shirt. Come on here.
Right. You're getting over gotta have it. You're getting over gotta have it syndrome.
That's okay. You know what? I'm gonna continue this process.
Yes.
Once a month, I'm gonna put it on my calendar to go through and just look at some stuff.
Yeah.
And see if it's something that
right.
really needs to stay. I watched Etta Fly and her story do that. She was like, yeah, this don't serve me anymore.
Right.
She kept saying, this don't serve me. This don't serve me either. Okay, I'm gonna get rid of that. So I know my sister know what I'm talking about. She may not be able to talk right now, but I know she knows what I'm talking about.
Hell yeah. That's a real deal.
We get into it. Listen, and I'm gonna have a pretty they're going to fly right there. I know she knows what I'm talking about right
Etta Fly. I miss Etta Fly's voice. Etta Fly, what up?
Oh my goodness.
Did you just?
Oh my goodness.
Yo, did you just melt my whole ear? Yo, you just melted my whole ear.
Oh my goodness. I've been trying. I've been quiet.
Yeah.
I've been quiet. What up, though?
Yo, your voice is like butter right now to my ears.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my yes. Oh my good. I was literally about to say it. Oh my goodness.
That's your favorite word or phrase to say, Aaron. Oh my goodness.
OMG.
Laying low and being very quiet and still in these moments. And LT just kind of, I'm like, should I say something today or should I stay quiet? Like I've kind of been randomly. So I said, let me come out the hiding for a second.
Oh my gosh. Look, I would have been fine either way, but it is so good hearing your damn voice. Goodness gracious.
Oh, yes, it is. Yeah, I second that.
I third that. I third it.
Oh my goodness, y'all got my face spread smiling right now. I didn't know I was super missed like that. It's kind of been
Come on.
What? Have you seen yourself lately? Do you know who you are? Do you know who you are?
Yeah, that's something I'm struggling with right now. Apparently I don't. Yeah.
We
just go. We missed them. All right.
No, I totally get it.
I put myself in the corner for a minute, so I just been in the audience just listening. I listen every morning. I just don't say anything.
Yeah. Look, that's the beautiful part. I like that it's all the things. Like I was just telling someone this yesterday. Every state that we're in is completely fine and exactly what the hell it should be, which is why I just appreciate moments because you just like, this is a moment, and that's a moment. So yeah, it's just been good. Yeah. It's good to period. It's good to have your presence and hell yeah. But you do feel like butter right now. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I feel directly spoken to right now when LT was directly calling. I'm like, she's directly talking to me. Should I go on her inbox and just respond, or should I respond publicly? Let me just raise my hand because I feel like she's literally talking right to me right now. And then I had made a post on Instagram and I tagged everybody in the room.
Oh, nice.
And then Maya reposted it, put a little heart, and I was like, okay, Maya. Maya is also filling my cup right now, so let me just let me come out of hiding for a moment and say something else. Yeah. And I saw Coco's message to me back from January that I didn't really see. That asked me about if I was a fashion consultant, and I was like, okay, let me say something.
I've been waiting. I've been saving up my money so you can go shop when I come to Detroit. Oh my God, I can't wait to talk to you. Oh my God.
Oh my goodness, y'all. I needed that this morning, so thank you.
See, you already know you.
Get my closet ready.
Right.
You said what? Well, but I'm getting it ready. You said what, LT? I'm over here getting my closet and stuff ready. I checked into your stories the other day, and I was like, okay. LT is getting the closet situation. I didn't know that you saw my stories and saw me doing the Marie Kondo, I think it's kind of method where you kind of go through your items and you like thank them for serving you at one point.
Yo,
you release them.
We were just fucking talking about that shit yesterday here, yo, and I didn't even know it was a name for it. And I was
I didn't know. I just that part. I just watched it go through the transition like, nah, this doesn't serve me anymore.
Yo.
Yes, that serves me. Yeah, I'm not gonna serve with that one. Oh no, this was during the time, and then she began to tell the stories behind them as well. Like, yeah. So maybe I need to revisit the stories behind some of the things that I had.
Yes.
I'm holding on to the story.
Yes. Let me tell you why this is so powerful. And I was mentioning it yesterday. The thing about it is right now we are in an insular world. Like all of us are going within. We are forced to. So what that means is we all have the ability to create experiences that are very fun, insular experiences. And one of the most fun things you could do is go through your closet. And that's why when Sanahata said it here yesterday, I was like, yo, that's a brilliant idea. You should actually have fun with that process. Take pictures, do all these things, because you're releasing, but you're also gaining at the same time. Ladies, this is one of the, y'all, like, this will, as many people that can duplicate this shit, it will be so helpful and so fun for people and so freeing and so uplifting. So hell yeah.
But I did a thing, y'all. You know, I have my best friend's closet.
Yeah.
That starts tonight. It's only on Wednesdays, midday Wednesday.
Nice.
But it's in the evening. And we're talking about shit that we can't fit, that we need to get rid of.
I love that. Shit, you can't fit.
As a member of this group that will be sharing, I thought I'd share my ode to your belt, so that you always keep it in high speed. I'm going to bring Marie Kondo your belt for you right now. I am the center of your world.
Yes, yes.
You wrap me in your leather embrace like a dark halo, sanctifying the loin, holy my deepest longing.
Yes, yes.
There you go.
Yo. I just want y'all to know I'm about to get an ilovedelia.shirt.com. Like I'm opening up the website ilovedelia.com. That's so beautiful.
Let me tell you something. That's a whole brand by itself.
Right.
Not to kind of like switch this up.
Oh man.
Who the hell is Ryan Davis? When he was just coming through at our shows in Charlotte to practice his comedy, he walked around with those shirts every week that we hosted that shirt. Who the hell is Ryan Davis? I kept saying, well, who the hell is Ryan?
Right. That's what makes you say it, right. That's the brand.
That was him brand himself.
That's why I say these things. That's why I say these things, yeah.
Who the hell is Ryan Davis? I ain't wearing it. Because it might be first time one day.
Right.
I ain't going with it.
Yo, that was so perfect. Coco, that was so perfect. What did Coco was like, what?
No, okay, like this is you listen, I'm mad at you people. You are like I don't even know what to say to you American Black people, but you're pissing me off with your amazingness and you just amazing fabulousness. And I don't even know if you know how amazing, I'm getting mad right now. You don't even know how much you amazing you are. Delia just wrote amazing shit about a belt. Don't do that. You just come in the morning at 10:17 and write a poem about a freaking belt. Get off my stage.
Oh my gosh. Oh my God.
That poem made me want to propose to every Black man I see.
Oh my God.
No, I have to find somebody to propose to now because of that poem. I have to do that.
Oh my God.
Can I say something to all of y'all just in case y'all didn't know or read anything, not to dampen the moment of anything, but Brother Eric was talking to us about one of his friends that was in the hospital and that friend transitioned. So
right.
If you do not know, please go and send them, some love.
Yeah.
Stop, Toby. Get off of me. Don't get. Oh, that was the dog. I'm sorry.
Coco.
Yeah. He is his very best friend.
Right.
And it's hitting him like a ton of bricks, and we need to show him some love, especially today because he's going to be. I think he's going to be presenting his company's new vision on Facebook Live. So if we can all show up and be there to strengthen and support. I haven't heard whether he's still going to go forward with that or not. I think he is.
Yeah.
But if we can just show up and be there in droves to support and love on him, that would be great.
It will really mean a lot, and I thank you all for bringing this up. It will really mean a lot. I heard about the news as well, and I sent them a message this morning on, the post that he put up. And I just told him that, the family, we got his back. We're here for him. We love him. We're sending our condolences. And so, like you all said, let's definitely support him today. Let's figure out what time. Let's go to his social media and find out what time his event is today so that we can support our good brother during this time of transition. Yeah. I thank you all for mentioning that too.
It's important, I think as the weeks have gone on, we all kind of like, life has transitioned for a lot of us, or shifted, not transitioned, but shifted for a lot of us. And during these shifts, sometimes we don't get to see each other as much. Clubhouse doesn't open up some new stuff and a lot of more folks, and so we don't get to, see each other. Sometimes I'm like, man, where's so-and-so?
Mm-hmm.
I haven't talked to them. I haven't, connected with them. And so folks who support each other, let's make sure we're still checking in on each other and just seeing how folks are doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I found his post. It's tonight live on Facebook at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Okay.
I think it's if y'all not following him, it's Express Your Perspective, but I'm sure you can find him. But yeah, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Wednesday, February 17th. Today is the 17th, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much for that. Yeah, and thank you, and thanks for bringing that up, LT, so that we could stand here together in solitude, in serenity, and just being there with him in our hearts, as well as supporting him physically as well. And thanks for sharing that info too, so I can put this in, and so we could be there for our good brother. Talia, how you doing today? That was. I know, right? It's still just cold for no reason. That's my next shirt. Cold for no reason at all out here. Like, why?
Not in Cali.
Oh, just rub it in, LT. Just rub it in. You know what? I don't have to take this. I don't have to take this. I'm going home.
I'm so happy to be home. So happy.
I hate you all. I hate you too.
Yeah, you know what? You know how they say in moments when you're complaining, like, you should feel grateful. When Coco said that, I was like, oh yeah, that's right. Because Coco is even more close to the cold. I guess I shouldn't complain.
They call it the Great White North for nothing. They don't call it the Great White North for nothing. White people, white snow, white everything. Even white black people.
Oh my God.
I'm going to add to the gratitude. I don't live here.
Right.
I'm so grateful that I know people in Florida because I was able to escape. I couldn't take it. I needed it for my mental health.
Right. Down there at the tip of Tampa. We just go from the Great White North to Tampa. Yo, that's a beautiful thing, though. I was 2 weeks ago now, I was fortunate to just miss the snowstorm here in Baltimore. I was down in Tallahassee. I was surprised I could throw on a t-shirt for a bit. But yeah, this damn cold. Like the other day, Delia and I were talking. It was just like, it's cold for just no reason. Like, we just outside looking around, like, for real? Like, for real? You just gonna freeze every finger I got off before I get to the car? It was crazy.
And every spring, I'd be like, oh, thank goodness that's over. That'll never happen again. Like, it's unnatural. Every single time, I will never think that snow on the ground is normal.
Right.
Yeah, I have to co-sign with you because I got to the point, I even moved to Brooklyn. I was in New York for 10 years.
Yeah.
And it's colder than it is in Baltimore.
Right.
But I was younger, a faster paced lifestyle. It was so easy to ignore it. But as I get older, more settled, more family oriented, comfort, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm a nester now.
Yeah, nester.
And
yeah.
So I'm like, I'm so over it. So I really am looking at like this trip. I'm staying so long to really also plan to shift my perspective.
Right.
But to plan a move, I'm really looking at other opportunities. And even though Texas does have the snow now, Texas is still one of those states on my list because Texas don't get it like this all the time,
That's true. Very true. It's very rare. I was watching a show the other day. They were talking about, they were like, we don't even have salt trucks and all that kind of stuff to prepare for snow. Like the slightest snow shuts everything down because we don't have snow that much. So yeah, I'm definitely feel you on that. Have you ever, would this be your first time, moving to a place like this, Chameleon, or, have you moved like this before?
Mm-hmm. I moved to Denver, Colorado.
Right.
and then Brooklyn.
Right.
I'm thinking you mean like just up and moving from home. Is that what you mean like this?
Yeah.
I was gonna move to New Orleans actually before Katrina hit, and then as a result of Katrina hitting, my family was just disheveled. They were relocated and stuff temporarily, so that's why I moved to Denver.
Right.
I was gonna move to California right before I got pregnant with the twins. It's because I didn't go to California is why I had the twins. I got pregnant. So yeah, that's what I like that. Only reason why I stay close to home is because of the little ones, and I wanted to be close to my family and get the support that I needed for them.
Right.
But now they're more independent, and I'm like, I need to go.
Right.
It's cold.
Yeah. I definitely feel you on that. So I might be jumping in someone's luggage bag soon and trying to get somewhere else warm. Just let you know that now.
Yeah, especially with quarantine. Everybody's doing everything from home. Why not travel?
Right.
That's why we here for 5 weeks. We coming back in the spring. Hear me? I have an appreciation for all the weather. Being a Jersey girl that was right there next to New York, which is a different kind of a cold. And then I've lived in Chicago for a season when my brother was in the military, which was another different kind of a cold. I earned the right to be out here in California at this point. I went through the storms, okay? I went through those storms, and I'm not going to let nobody kill you for being out here.
Right. Great.
No, I hear that, especially from up in Canada, and Toronto gets cold. And
right.
And I'm originally from Montreal, so I don't know if you've ever experienced a Montreal winter, but fuck that.
Right.
So it's double cold, the wire all around it, small. Fuck that shit. Buses slip on ice, makes a different page every day. Yeah, I'm jealous. I'm gonna hop in someone's luggage too.
Yo.
Yeah, but here's the thing, right? Y'all have America where you can just go from state to state to state. I can't. I'm even trying to leave a whole country. You know what I'm saying? They don't even let me in.
Yeah.
It's not okay. So we don't have a Florida here. We go from really cold to butt fuck
to
somewhat cold to it only gets cold here 18 months.
Really?
The closest we got is BC, but then it's overpriced and
rainy.
Yeah, rainy.
Oh, it doesn't snow here very much. It just rains every.
Yeah, it's British Columbia. They call it British because it's got UK weather.
Y'all keep this. Y'all speaking of storm, keep this conversation going. The storm is calling me. I'm about to. Nature's calling real quick. Keep this storm going.
Oh wow!
You know what?
You never know what you're gonna get on the AP morning show.
That there's so many people on this app.
You better mute yourself, by the way, Mr. Man. Mute yourself.
Real talk. From all over, right? And so we get to live through you guys who live in different places of the world that we never visit. I've never visited Canada, and I don't know if they're gonna let us in after this COVID.
You don't need to.
Okay.
Yeah, you're not missing much.
Huh? What?
You're not really missing much. We just got rip-off versions of stuff from the States. Montreal is our New Orleans. Toronto is the New York cover band. So it's all just discount.
Yeah. It's one city block of New York. It's one corner, Bay, Dundas, and Yonge. that one corner, we have a lot of high buildings that have screens on it that shows shit. That's about it, and a mall. We have a corner of New York, and it's a very small, insignificant, boring-ass corner.
Oh, wow.
Agreed. Yeah. But we also have New York.
Intro to Canada. Huh? Okay.
Yeah, some people like it here. They say, oh, it's so clean. Yeah, because nobody goes anywhere to do anything because it's boring. So it's clean because nobody goes anywhere.
Yo, that's funny as shit right there. That was funny. She said it's clean because nobody goes anywhere. Yeah.
Am I lying, Maya, or am I telling the truth?
Yeah.
No, it's not even clean. It's just covered in snow most of the time. And then the snow melts and it's like everyone's dog shit and cigarette butts are like exposed.
Oh, that's so disgusting.
Yeah.
That's one of the main reasons why I don't like the snow. And I knew from when I was a little girl in Jersey that I was not going to live there as an adult. I was like, I just can't stay here with this. And then New York and New Jersey never closed. So I'm surprised COVID closed it, because when it snows there, I remember sliding all the way on ice just to get to school because they didn't close the school. They don't close. No, they don't. At all.
Oh, wow.
So you get on trains. You want to go somewhere. You're not going to stay in that house. Yeah.
We don't close either, Maya? We don't close in Canada.
I mean, not that much, but I feel like we've been closing more and more lately. Like,
that's because of COVID, but...
No, but like, I feel like schools are even more lenient now than like I remember being a kid and it was like, they didn't close down too much, but then I feel like this generation gets more snow days. Maybe perspective, who knows?
Man, let me tell you, I remember walking to college because college didn't close, and high school because we had a basketball game, and it be like literally like the ice had frozen because of the water of the rain. Wow. And nobody closed. They didn't even give half a day.
Damn. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Which was totally different. But then I moved to Charlotte, right? And Charlotte, as soon as they predict snow, everything that was like a total trash. I was looking like, what? One time we went to the store, it snowed when we was coming outside. They closed down everything, right? There was no milk, no bread on the shelves. Wow. I need y'all to know that. Charlotte will take all the milk and the bread. I don't know what that means.
She said, I don't know what that means.
All the milk and bread.
Wow.
Off the shelf. You cannot get milk and bread, right? And then we woke up the next morning, it was no snow outside. I said, what the?
Oh my God. Wow.
What done happened? We had just went to the store at 8 o'clock at night. And people would like, New Yorkers and New Jersey think that they could drive, right? We really do think we could drive like that.
Right.
So we driving, we going around people because they moving slow. Me and my cousins just like, man, what y'all slowing down for? Just drive. They're not used to snow. Right. And they don't even have the machines to clean up the blocks. That's why they close down the southern states like that, because they don't have the equipment to take care of the stuff. So if anybody have a business venture and want to go on down south with some plows and stuff like that, you make a killing.
Right.
Because they don't have.
Right. That's a good point.
When I was in the city, when I went to Baltimore City schools, the talk was that it was basically racist, because in the county they would close down schools, but in the city, where we had to walk to the MTA bus station to get to school, they would just be running business as usual, and we'd be like breaking our ankles, walking 2-3 blocks to get to the bus. But then they started they started following the county closures, so there was less places. Yeah.
Delia, Chicago don't close either.
Wow.
Like, I remember being in Chicago in high school and still having to catch the bus, and it'd be freezing. Like, I don't even understand how people lived it. Like, seriously, Chicago is a different kind of hell of a cold, for real.
Yeah, that's true.
Child.
That's definitely true.
You can't even feel you can't even, like, if you blow out air like right. that, it freezes. Right in the thing. That's how cold Chicago gets.
Yeah, I've heard about that. That wind.
Detroit.
Piercing.
But we name it, but I want to say I don't feel that it's racist. I feel like it's the metropolitan city. Like, people go to have a faster pace of life, and so they're accommodating that. But as more people are involved in, more citizens, I say, are involved in things, and you're able to get more things done, as far as closing schools and things like that. I really don't think it's a racial thing, because there's white children that live in the city as well.
Well, we were at the city and county line of Baltimore. It was like small. So the difference was that the MTA, the public transportation system took city kids to school. So they had zero liability. So they didn't bother closing.
Yeah.
Like they would if the yellow bus was taking kids to school. So it was just bedlam.
I'm from Baltimore too. So I understand the frustration of like how it was county out, why we got to walk in this.
Yeah, no, that was it.
Yeah, I remember the snow had already started and it had started picking up and they dismissed school and we had to walk home in that.
Right.
Yeah. They started picking up though.
On the county line. I was on that side, but it was still city is my point. You know what I'm saying? Like Baltimore just doesn't have its infrastructure set up, but it wants to function like New York.
Mm-hmm. It's funny you said that. I was just thinking that too right before you said that. Right before y'all went into that, I was just thinking, I was like, yeah, I remember where it would be one drop of rain or the hint of it, and we'd be out in the county, or I lived in both places. I started out in the city and lived for 10 years there, and then I lived the next 10 years in the county. So I had exactly that split experience. I remember the weather was terrible and we still had to go to school. But then in the county, even if they hinted at it, we were out of school. And I never knew what the difference was too. And, so I definitely appreciate you shedding some light on that, like that you just did, Camille.
That split experience was definitely transformative for me. Because I spent half of middle school in the county, half in the city and half in the county.
Right.
And I remember, so I had white neighbors when I lived in the city. And my perception was that Black people had taken over entertainment and we were like running shit on that level. And all the white people I knew were like barefoot type poor people, like barefoot in the alleys type poor, like. Yeah. So we were giving out them our hand-me-down. So I didn't really know that the white middle class existed.
Right.
And then I moved to the suburbs and I was like, I thought they existed on television. I came to the suburbs and I was like, oh my gosh, I feel like I'm on the set of Dawson's Creek.
Right.
Like, oh my gosh, these are cheesy white people. That's crazy. Some kid came up to me and was like, are you a yo? Like, it was the 90s. They're like, are you a yo? Yeah,
are you a yo?
The whole, like the high school intro to like all of the clips, I guess. Like the typical high school scene is like, okay, you got the skater kids,
right?
Blah, blah, blah. Like he gave me the whole thing. He was like, are you a yo? And I was just like, what? But the resources between the city and the suburbs, that was like transformative.
Right.
And yeah, that experience really impacted
my
mindset.
It also depends on what school you go to, because in the city, all I know is bougie Black people and bougie white people. And I grew up in the city. I went there, but it was the schools that you go to. And Baltimore's very segregated. Right. And the way it is, you'll be in one block and it's safe, and you turn two corners.
Whole different area. Whole different area.
That's why they call it Charm City, because there's so many hidden things within the city that you don't know about if you're not a part of the culture.
Mm-hmm. Definitely agree with you on that.
I definitely knew wealthier Black people. Most of my mom's aunties and them they lived in Blackasax. So from that age on, when we moved to the suburbs, we moved in predominantly white neighborhoods. But I thought, in my mind, the real wealth are the people who live in communities like what you see more in PG County, like those type of neighborhoods, like Blackasax. So now I live in a neighborhood that's more diverse. It's not a Blackasax, but I wouldn't have bought this house if I didn't see several Black people out mowing their lawns, because it's like, that's my idea of arrived. I just need to see many upper class Black people as possible around me.
Right. I think about mindset, and I think mindset is like the biggest determining factor, you definitely find that, of course, excuse me, if you follow the trail of, poverty, it's going to lead you to some unfortunate and downtrodden mindsets, many of which are victims of other scenarios. You go into other neighborhoods and it's different. It is real true, like even what you all are saying and what Chameleon was saying. Like I used to work, in fact, the first musical opportunity that I got where I went full-time music was I was playing for a church in downtown Baltimore called Ebenezer AME Church. And it was right down there in South Baltimore off of Hanover Street. It was on Montgomery Street. And so that was a lot of, upper class Caucasian people that lived in that neighborhood. My father used to live like a couple blocks over, and it was on Hamburg Street. And I remember, there was so much crime and stuff that happened in that street. But it was wild because you would not know that this place was right there because of how sharp the divide was. You literally walk one block and you turn the corner and it's not even the same neighborhood, so it is wild being in those areas, and having those diverse experiences. When I went from the city to the county, man, I was like, the county Woodlawn for me was like Beverly Hills. I had never saw a place that had such quality before, because I was from, inner city, Baltimore, East Side, in the ghettos. And so I remember the first time I went to the basketball court, when I went back home, I called all my friends to tell them just how excited I was because the rims of the basketball goal were actually up. You could actually play basketball. And then the fact that there was net on the goals. Where I came from, you were lucky to have a rim up there. It might be a crate, really. So it's just really interesting how diverse these experiences can be and how they really make you look at life. And they teach you a whole lot. And that's why I'm glad that out of everything, my mother gave me diverse experiences and exposure.
Quick question.
Yeah.
Do you know Charles Arnett?
Yeah, I do.
That's my dad.
Are you serious? Oh my God. Yo, that's so crazy. Small world. Small to more. Last time I saw him, in fact, I think he even, I think I saw his Facebook, I think. But last time I saw him in person, excuse me, was at the B Sharp Music Academy. He was, I think it was, so Ama's son was actually at that academy. And that was the last time I saw him, the B Sharp Music Academy. Wow, that's crazy. Small world. I heard, in fact, this church that I just told you about, I think that was the first place where I actually heard his name. Just one day talking to some people there.
You knew him.
Right. That's so crazy. That's so crazy. So yeah, we got to meet now. We definitely got to. Small world.
Wow.
I know, right?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, everybody. Let's say good morning to Kofi. Good morning, Kofi.
I'm just watching.
You just watching?
Yes, superheroes.
Oh, you watching superheroes? What superheroes? What superheroes do you have?
Which superheroes, Kofi?
Wait here.
Oh, they can't see it. It's okay. He points with like, hello, it's right here.
Yo, I love how literal kids are. They're like, look, you didn't tell me that they can't see me. Oh, you said what was I looking at? It's right here. I used to mess with when I was growing up, we used to do some silly things. So my homeboy one time, he was messing with his nephew. He waits till his nephew went to sleep, and he started calling his name, Martez. And so he eventually wakes up. He's like, what's going on? And he wakes him up. He's like, wake up, man. It's time to go to sleep. It's like, yo, you were so fucking wrong for that.
Wow.
Oh my gosh. Oh man. The silly things we do. So yeah, kids trip me out. Kids trip me out with just how literal they are. As Bill Cosby said, kids say the darndest things. Like that time when Aria told me that guy in front of us had a nose. And I was like, yeah, baby girl, he does have a nose. She was like, no, daddy, he got a nose. And we were 2 feet from his nose, and he looked at us like, oh my goodness. And I looked away and was like, that is not my child today. I don't know who she is, but somebody come pick her up.
My aunt tells this story all the time. When I was little, she took me to the store.
Right.
And there was an older white lady that was like, oh, you're so pretty. And my face was scrunched up. And my aunt she said, why are you looking at her like that? She said, because her face is all scrunched up. And the lady said, well, because I'm old. And I said, well, my grandmommy is old.
Oh,
like that.
Oh my gosh. Yo. Oh my gosh. And the crazy part about it is that it's like kids are being so kids are just literally just telling you the truth. Like literally just telling you the absolute truth. It's like you can't even be mad at them. You just can't even mad at it. I know somebody else had to have a story like that. Oh my gosh, y'all. So yes, peeps, we are here. We are rounding out this show. And I just want to say to you all that it's been an absolute pleasure hanging out today. We are here again in affirmation and accountability. And so I want to say to my peeps, to Sherry T, Chameleon, Amber Delia, Ada Fly, Coco, Meyer, LT, Sherry. We are here, and everybody else that came through today. Much love to your family. It's hump day. We're about to move over this thing, this hump, and make it do what it do. So I just want to say to you that I affirm you on an amazing day today, a day filled with not only joy and laughter, but productivity in other forms as well. Because like we talked about the other day, getting rest as well as enjoying yourself is productivity too. Yes. So as always, thanks for coming through. Don't forget, let's reach out to our brother, Eric. Let's show some love today on this day. Show him who we are as family. One of the things that he said here a few weeks ago was that he was so glad. He said it like with a tear in his throat, like you could hear him getting choked up. He was like, I just want to thank y'all because y'all have no idea how much it means that you all come find me and check on me outside of this environment. He said, y'all have no idea what that means. And in that moment, I did know what it means because I could hear it in his voice. I could hear it in his heart. So let's definitely support him today. Let's go say, hey, let's go love on him, support him. If he winds up doing his event, let's just be there for him. And as we are for each other, it's so good because we get the opportunity to be tribe and find our tribe. So yes, tribe, I appreciate you all. And yes.
I want to say, if anybody gets there first, ping us in.
Yes.
In Florida.
I'm not sure if he's doing it on Clubhouse. It may be just live on Facebook. So
Gotcha. Okay.
I'm not sure.
Okay. Yeah, we'll definitely go check out his Facebook then. And so on that tip, everybody, let's open up our microphones and let's affirm each other one last time for the moment. Have a great day, everybody.
Have a great day.
Everyone.
Take care. Yes. No, so thanks to Sherry Thompson, who says good morning. Gives the good morning hands. Thank you. Take care. Peace.